This year's WPT Series is bigger than ever with 14 tournament events, huge payouts, Best Bet Live featured events, and over $1.5 million in guarantees.
That's right. Get in on the poker action and excitement and win big at Best Bet Jacksonville. See all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Whether you're wearing teal and black or orange and blue, there's one thing we can all agree on this football season. Jets Pizza. Fresh dough made daily, wall-to-wall cheese, and crispy edges make every bite a game day favorite. Whether it's football Saturday or football Sunday, feed the family, the crew, or the whole team with Jets Pizza. Order online or call any of the 4 Jacksonville area Jets Pizza locations today.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about enjoying your life. So often we can go through life trying to make a living instead of making a life. Yes, it's good to be goal-oriented, but let me encourage you today that our days are numbered. We're not promised tomorrow, so go out and take time to be with your family. You'll always have your work, but you won't always have your family.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Week 2 of the 2026 NFL preseason is in full effect, and the Jaguars continue their journey tonight against the Carolina Panthers. You can catch all the action on 1010XL beginning at 4:30 with the Publix kickoff show. Right now, 91 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Y'all ready to get some tattoos up in here?
Yeah, let's go.
Right. The 22nd Annual Tattoo Convention live here in World Golf Village. We are at the Renaissance Resort, and just walking around a little bit earlier, there are a ton of people here, there's more than tattoos too. But obviously, that's the primary goal here is that there's 250 both national and international tattoo artists. So if you want some ink, this is the place to be.
They're here all weekend too.
That's
man.
right.
And we walked through the here out in the hallways. There's a bunch of people. You go in those 2 double doors. Next thing you know, it's boom.
Yeah.
This massive space with just tattooed artists everywhere doing that. It's awesome, man. Cool environment.
Yeah, and to your point, there was a lot of other stuff. I mean, hats and jewelry and cups and mugs and stuffed animals, and they had a whole 3D printing area that had all these like cool little artifacts that you could get from that. So, I mean, honestly, I walked in and I was shocked at how many like different things there are in general, but a ton of tattoos, you can walk around and watch people getting tattooed. There were several as we were walking by getting like whole thighs done just right there, and I'm like,
no tears.
just going for it.
Yeah, way too tough.
Yeah, I keep looking at people going by and just looking at which ones had to hurt because there are spots. A lady just walked by. She had one on each but right behind her knee.
Oh yeah,
like that flesh right there.
Yeah, there's not a
That's
ton
tender.
of fat there.
Anything
tender. The the shoulder's nothing.
Okay.
You got all that beef there, you know what I mean?
Especially you.
Well, I'm just saying.
Taylor, maybe not as
Yeah, it might hurt a little.
Most people got some beef in there, a little stuff in there. So, but yeah, it's hey man, it's a great way to express art, and people love it, man. And it's everywhere. You know, you think about it. When we were growing up, tattoos were like you were either like in the military, you know, or you were a real tough, you know,
biker.
Yeah, biker.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of tats.
Biker, right? You know, things like that, and then over time, it just became more, you know, acceptable to have a tattoo, you know, in society. And now it's like, yeah, if you don't have a tattoo, oh wow, that's interesting.
Like people are more shocked now if you don't have one.
If you don't have one,
do.
right? Yeah, it's interesting. So,
well, and as Taylor and I walk around, because we don't have any visible tattoos, people are like, oh, so I wonder where theirs are.
Secret tattoos
somewhere at the 22nd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention. I'd be surprised if they don't have a tat somewhere.
Yeah, shout out to Bert, by the way. He puts these things on. He's friends with my, I've met Bert a long time ago with Greg Conley from Caribbean Connection. That's where I got my tattoos way back in the day. So this is his 22nd one putting these things on, man. It's pretty outstanding.
And he'll join us at 2:45, so we can certainly get more into everything going on here. And they also have a new collector's alley with sports cards.
Yeah.
They've got toys, comics, all sorts of stuff. Pokemon, I know Pokemon's big.
Oh, yeah.
With the kids, for sure. It's family friendly, free parking, and the adults. That's also true. And there's also military and first responder discounts. Tickets are available at the door. You can find out more information on that by going to setattoo.com. setattoo.com. Well, Taylor, we have a legend among us. So, in honor of Tom McManus being honored as legend of the game tonight, and of course Aaron Beasley delivering the first Duval, let's give away some tickets to tonight's game.
Let's
not just a pair. I said we have a pair.
Family 4-pack of tickets. So you and the kids and the wife, husband, wife, kids, bring everybody, bring your friends, however you want to do it. I know some people are probably already starting to tailgate at this point, honestly.
Hydrate if you're already tailgating. Make sure you hydrate.
Right. I know some of my friends are probably already on the way to that. But
we have over 5 hours before kickoff. So, make sure you hydrate. Well, Tom, since you're the legend tonight, you get to pick the number, the caller number.
Let's go
Not 55.
Jared, back at 10 headquarters will kill you.
All right, how about just 1-5? Just 5.
Just 5.
Just 5.
Off
Sorry,
5.
I threw
Okay.
everybody off.
I thought it was 15.
Yeah, no, 5.
All right, call number 5,
Call number
641-1010. Call number 5, and you will chat with Jared Justice. He will give you some tickets, that's for sure. Before he has to answer the phone, let's get a comment from Tony Baselli, who was on Jags HQ yesterday, as he is pretty much every single week with Jeff Loggeman and Brian Sexton. And I wanted people to hear this clip specifically about Cole Van Lanen because there's been so much mystery surrounding this. Here is Tony Baselli, the EVP of the Jacksonville Jaguars, on Cole yesterday.
That combined with Cole getting off the PUP list, he now can participate in practice. We will still, that doesn't mean he's getting thrown in there, but now we can start preparing him because this is a guy that didn't participate all of the offseason, hasn't done anything in camp outside of work his tail off to get back to this point, and looks great in what he can do off to the side in rehab. And so now it's an opportunity to get the pads on him to feel. Jeff can remember this. I remember it too fondly, unfortunately. You come off an ACL and you're doing all your rehab. You feel pretty good. And you're like, man, I'm ready to go. Then you put pads on and get hit for the first time. And you're like,
a little different.
Oh, my, I'm not ready yet. I got some work to do. So that's the next step for Colin. And the way he's approached it so far, very confident he's going to do just fine. And looking forward to having him back out there. I know he's excited to get back out there with the guys, be a part of it. He's obviously been in all the meetings. He's one of the smartest offensive linemen we have, proven by last year, starting at 4 different positions throughout the year. So we're excited to have Cole back, and we're excited about the group.
So the mystery is now gone. Whether it was partial or fully torn ACL, that part I suppose we'll never know. But it sure as heck sounds like we no longer have to guess. Cole Van Lanen had some sort of ACL tear, but he was activated off the PUP list yesterday, the physically unable to perform list. So that's great news.
It is
for the offense.
And he looks good running, running around and working on different things. And, having the, there we go, my man, having an ACL myself, that first, camp practice going against guys different than just running drills and lifting weights and feeling good, because you go in feeling good and then you just get a little tweak in it and you're like, oh no, did I mess it up
Right.
again? I think the more of it is the mental, getting over it, like feeling like, hey, it's healthy. It's not going to tear any. There's no percentage that it's going to tear again, or that it will tear. Depending on what. There's none of that. Go in there and play the game the way you're supposed to play. And it does take a little bit of time to get into that, but it's good that he's off the PUP list. It gets him back into it. Like Tony said, you get the pads on him, see how he feels. Let him take on a lineman. Taking on, being strapped to a pulley system, and then taking on a 300-pound guy that's coming at you at the same time, a little bit different. So, but I'm happy for him. Partial, not partial. Partial just means it's torn in it. Full is all, where you got to take out you're taking out the graft, you're taking out the bone to bone, putting in bone to bone, that kind of thing. But as far as I know, the partial is you sew up the ligament, and then it's got to heal. So I would think it's more than a partial if it's taken this long. But at the same time, it does look, it's only been 9 months, coming up on 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. So don't, I just make him healthy as can be. He's ready to go. He can play 4 different positions. You never know where you're going to be at as an offensive line, when he comes back. So let him take his time. Let the others hold down the fort. But it's really good to see CVL, my MVP from last year, if I remind you, is back out there with the fellas. That's good news.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I was listening to the Frangie show yesterday, and they were like, everybody calm down. You don't have to see you all overreacted. I'm like, because we didn't know anything. Like the unknown is what scares people. If we would have known more about the injury in some sort of time frame, it was just so secretive, and so it was always a guessing game. And when that happens, of course, your brain kind of goes to, oh no, why aren't we being told anything? And especially with some of the other injuries, when it came to Travis Hunter last year, and it was, okay, a little bit of time to all of a sudden he's out for the season. So you have these things in your mind of how it works, but it's great to hear that he's at least off that. We've been seeing him at camp over to the side, and it wasn't like he was just jogging around, like he was putting in work over there. So it did feel like it was trending closer anyways. And I do think that how quick this all looks, to the point of what Tony Baselli was saying. Are you ready to full on make these blocks and be hit and all of that right away? Probably not, but you're closer to that. And that's what you want to hear with, especially Cole Van Lannon. You're really expecting him to be a big part of this offensive line.
I'd rather hear it. We all rather hear what it is. You just got to, to defend them. Not that I'm trying to, but, if you you said CVL tore his ACL. Okay, so we all know it goes into our mind. That's like a year. Or maybe 10 months, so then what are you going to do at the position? What are you guys going to do? You just signed him to a big contract. And by the way, this would have gone on all off season, and maybe they just don't want to deal with that stuff. And to be quite honest with you, do they owe it to us to tell us? Not really. From my perspective, you guys may feel different, but, he's injured. He's not out there. Would I like to know how severe it is? Yeah, sure I would. In that case, because he's got the whole off season, I get why you don't say anything.
If he tore his ACL, though, Tom, and they listed him as questionable on that Bills game injury report, that's where I have a little bit of an issue.
If it's partial, though, you understand.
If it's partial, then I understand.
Right.
If it's full, there's no chance he was going to play.
I doubt they would put him out there. I doubt they would even have a suit up
so
if
then
it
it's
was
just gamesmanship, which, again, you're not supposed to do that. But either way, let's look to the future, not to the past.
Well, no, if I may. So if it's partial, you can, support it enough to where maybe you feel like you can go, so you give it a chance. If it's full, you can't use the leg.
Yeah. But you're saying based off of the timeline, because this happened early January, it feels like full, and therefore there was no chance he was playing if it was full.
Let me just retract thinking that they wouldn't put him out there if he had a full ACL. There's no way.
No, but like I said, because he was listed as questionable, that tells either team that there's
maybe
at least
partial,
an option.
There's some sort of chance.
So either way, we know it was something with the ACL.
Yeah.
So like I said, the
We're glad
mystery
he's back.
on all the people trying to guess at everything, you could stop guessing. He is back at least to the point where he can start practicing.
Yeah.
I doubt we'll see him in the joint practice against the Bucs, or the joint practices. As of now, there's 2 scheduled next week.
No, I wouldn't either.
But hopefully, maybe this means week 1, if not certainly week 2, week 3. I mean, you've got some talented defenses early on in the season, so you want your best offensive line. You always want your best offensive line, but it's certainly to start.
Did you know what my tangent was about today?
I didn't.
Well, you just kind of foreshadowed it.
Okay.
A little bit.
All right.
I like that. It's called symmetry or synchronicity.
Yeah.
One of those words.
Just think, though, week 1, he may not be the best 5. because of he's not ready.
If he's not in game shape, right.
Yeah,
So
You want
then-
him 110%.
Right. So then my guess is it's Anton Harrison at left tackle and Walker Little at right tackle. Is my guess as we sit here today, if Cole Van Linden's not ready. If he is ready, then it's Anton Harrison at left tackle, my guess, and Cole Van Linden at right tackle.
Yeah, and with him, it's definitely something he already dealt with injury in camp last year, got healthy, then got re-injured again. So that's definitely a person you don't want to push. When he's 100% ready, put him
he'll
out
be
there.
ready.
And I mean, we've talked so much about the guys they've brought in, and it seems like from what we've watched, there are a little bit of worries, but they brought a lot of versatility in for a reason. And all of these guys, and you've seen it throughout camp, you've seen it in their careers in general of different moving different places. So I feel like it's not you don't have to rush him back, and at least you're confident in that side.
Yeah, and he'll get back because you saw how he works. That guy, that other day he was running sprints. I was getting tired watching him. I'm not kidding. Like, he kept running them. He must have done 15 or 20 of them and looked good doing it. So he's got the cardio. Yeah, everything's there. It's just going to be, is it strong enough, and can you get it through your mind that everything's okay and you go play free, not think about the knee? And I didn't mean to rhyme.
No, it was great though. So yeah, if you in case you missed it, Tom is going to be honored as the legend of the game tonight as the Jaguars take on the Panthers in the preseason game. Will we see starters? My gut is no. That I doubt it. I'll say at this point in time, but we can certainly discuss that and a whole lot more. You are listening to Helmets and Heels live from the 22nd annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention at World Golf Village, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We're connected by a common bond.
And remember what got you here.
1010XL. From the Tom Bush family of dealership studios.
Helmets and Heels.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank Performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. One winner gets round-trip airfare for two, 4 nights hotel, and 2 tickets to the Jags game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 6/29 to 8/27/26. Get official rules and details at everbank.com/London Rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A. Member FDIC.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. Are you looking for a remix on the original Chick-fil-A sandwich? The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back this summer only. It's a flavorful spin on a familiar favorite created with Chick-fil-A chicken, a drizzle of honey, pickled jalapenos, and a spread of savory pimento cheese. This sandwich combines your favorite flavors with a new twist, and it's your last chance to try. So stop by and enjoy the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich at Chick-fil-A today.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Bowden Iron Associates.
Friday.
Got a leaky faucet, a running toilet, a drain that's slowing down? If you've been meaning to call a plumber, now's the perfect time to call Duck Duck Rooter. Schedule any plumbing service during August, and while our technician is already at your home, we'll include a free water heater inspection. It's just one more way we deliver the Duck Duck standard. Honest recommendations, fair, upfront pricing, and no surprises. If you're calling a plumber anyway, why not get a little bit more while we're there? When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Every day is game day on Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony break it down from every angle. Roster moves, matchups, league trends, and the pulse of Duval. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Come to Monahan Jewelers store-wide 40 to 50% off sale going on now for a very limited time. Everything on display is 40 to 50% off at Monahan Jewelers. We've bought so much brand new jewelry, we need to make room for it. Diamond jewelry, engagement semi-mounts, colored gemstones, even gold chains. Right now, everything on display at Monahan Jewelers is 40 to 50% off. Jewelry's going quick, so come to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Prosser here. When it comes time to buy or sell a home, it's a process, man, and you need the expert help on your side. And for that, I ask you to turn to my friends, Chad and Sandy, the only agents I would trust and recommend to sell my home. Listen, the real estate market, it's choppy. Most experts don't expect smooth sailing anytime soon. And in today's market, you need those experts. Those experts are Chad and Sandy. You think you got a problem? Well, it probably isn't, because Chad and Sandy handle it. They're the local real estate experts that have this proven system. Using the proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. That's right. No required repairs. Pick your move date. Take Maria at St. John's. I was so frustrated after 2 different agents failed to sell my home over several months. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, and I called. Their team took the time to understand my needs and explain the process. Bottom line, my home sold in 21 days for 99% of asking price. Go to chadandsandy.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, care starts with listening, one-on-one consultations, clear answers, and a plan built around you. Our orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine physicians, and rehabilitation specialists work together to treat injuries, manage chronic pain, and restore strength and mobility. From your first check-in to your personalized treatment plan, everything is designed to help you move forward with confidence. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, expert care, improving lives.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Well, it's been some time.
A little Zach Top, I absolutely love it. Sorry we're not giving any tickets away to go see Zach Top by any means, but he is coming in concert in the fall. He has a new song out today called Good Girls and Cowgirls. Absolutely fantastic. This would be I Never Lie. All right, so the Jaguars also made moves, signed offensive lineman Timothy McKay, who they just waived.
Oh, they brought him back?
And they brought him back,
Geez.
and then they released defensive tackle Quentin Bohanna. So
really?
tough day for
Okay.
for Bohanna. But McKay went from being signed, being waived, to being signed again.
Well, I'm sure they said just hang out in the hotel
I'm
for
sure
a
they
day.
did. Yeah,
we just gotta make some stuff happen.
Don't go anywhere. Yeah, this is a
Good
brief
for him.
period
He
of
gets a
space.
chance. Well, if you look at it, they need help in O-line more than D-line right now.
For sure,
So,
right now. It's
a shame for Bohanna, but you never know, right?
Yeah.
You never know if you get brought back.
And you never know at this point in time if you make the 53, right?
True,
Like that's
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
goal. It's not just to be on obviously the team.
I think there's certain guys that they've brought in that probably will. Like when you look at Fa Alele, they don't give up a draft pick to just not make it. You'd think he'd make
unless you get him in here and
if
what you
he's-
saw online is what you see in person, and
If it's
that
that
is some negative
bad,
plays.
then yes, I agree.
Then
with
it's
that.
a really bad
But
trade.
Tavai, I
Yeah,
think
Jelani
he's
Tavai,
in,
the linebacker.
He's- I think he's in. I think he's going to play some football.
Yeah, he looks good out there. All right, so we are on until 4:30 today. I want to let people know that the Jaguars, of course, preseason game kicks off at 7:30. So Jaguars programming will take over at 4:30, and then high school football tonight. Bishop Kenny plays at NFEI. That one will be on the 92.5 FM stream, the app and the stream.
Okay.
And then Bulls plays host to Columbia. That one will be on 10:10 AM stream only.
All right.
Tonight and the next Friday, it's stream only for our two high schools that we carry because of the Jaguars preseason.
Right.
So,
right.
And
it'll-
yeah, I do want to say too for Jaguars, because this weekend, obviously with high school football, with the games being on Friday, but normal during the season, reminder to people that we can't stream NFL content. I always get a lot of emails about that of why it's not on the stream. So you have to listen on terrestrial radio or one of the NFL or ESPN like paid subscriptions. So I always get so many
it's
emails.
an NFL rule.
Not our rule.
Right.
Yeah, the NFL does not let us stream on phones, computers, laptops, whatever, the actual NFL content.
If you don't have a terrestrial radio, then the way to listen to 92.5 FM or 1010 AM for the game itself would be to go on NFL Network and get a subscription through there.
Right. Yep.
NFL Network Plus, and that's how you will end up getting a lot of preseason games too. But you can actually listen to the radio if you don't have an actual radio. All right, so Jaguar starters. My guess is we don't see them. I think even though Liam said trending toward it earlier this week, my guess is we don't see the majority of starters. Maybe some here and there, like obviously last preseason game last Saturday, we saw Ventrell Miller, Brinson Combs. I'd expect to see them again.
Yeah.
But I don't expect to see the starting offensive line. I know people want to see it. I just don't expect it.
Yeah, I want to see it. I'm one of them that wants it, at least for a little bit. And you don't need Trevor out there. I'm okay with that. You know, may not even need your wideouts out there. Let the young guys start again. But I like to see the run game get worked on a little bit. I want to see C-Rod. I want to see Tootin. You know, if eventually we'll get to Jamari Taylor and see if he can continue on running hard. But I want to see what looks to be our starters. Just they need time to gel. You know, they need time, to get it together, to get that chemistry. And, I was thinking earlier, we were talking off air with Tony and Mike and, Jaguars Tier, just about like, okay, so if your starters never play in the preseason, all right, so you go into week 1, you have to be ready for what? A lot of missed tackles or some missed tackles. Timing being off, right, between the run game, the pass game. And if you can live with that, even if you go 0-1, you got Texas showed you could go 0-3 and get out a run. Now that, who knows, the chances of that anybody doing that again is pretty high. But, you think
pretty
about
low,
that.
yeah.
Or pretty low, sorry. So to me, that's what and I don't want to see him a ton, maybe a quarter, a few drives. Maybe if they go right down the field, a couple drives and score, get them out. That's cool.
Now,
let them feel good about
it. If the Panthers defense isn't playing their starters, does it matter to you then a little bit different? Because then you expect them to go down the field, and did you gain anything going against the
I'm
twos?
assuming Canellis and Liam speak and say, are you going to play your guys or you're not? And if they don't, I probably wouldn't play my guys then. I agree with that. I mean, I don't think you got that in practice. It's equivalent. Because of the front line, Derek Brown's going hard, don't get me wrong, but he's not tackling to the ground. He's not finishing, that kind of stuff. So you get their second team. You drive down on their second team. There's some value in that. It's not like there's no value, but you do have to put the caveat that was against their backups and not their starters. So don't get too carried away with how you're feeling about your performance. Unless it was a bad performance, then you'd be really concerned. Then you should be concerned.
Yeah, then the people are hitting the panic button, Taylor.
Yeah, I think that for me, I'm kind of with Tommy. If the Panthers are playing any of their ones, I would like to see. It doesn't have to be everybody. I think a Trayvon Walker and a Josh Hines-Allen and a Trevor. I think there's certain guys that maybe you don't need to see out there, but I do think the running backs, to me, I would like to see the running backs out there. Honestly, would probably like to see the running backs, even if it's not their full starting defensive line. Honestly, I'd like to just see some contact, see if they're how they're seeing the lanes, the yards after contact we've heard about when it comes to C-Rod, which we've seen in flashes throughout camp. I would like to see some of that personally, maybe some of the secondary pieces, Antonio Johnson and a Buster Brown, and I know they're not starters, but those guys right behind, a Ransaw, like some of those guys I'm sure we'll see, but I still want those guys mixed in just because I do think that any real reps, any real tackling does help, because that's one thing, even in joints, you're not full tackling to the ground. You're not getting all of that. So I still do think that getting that full game speed, going through the whole process of a game and coming out on the field, the whole everything you talk about. There's a lot of veterans on this team that have done it, but there's a lot of guys that you're counting on this year to be big playmakers that don't have a ton of game reps under their belt right now. And the linebacker room, I think, is included in that. And so I personally would like to see some, but I get it if Liam Cohen's looking at this, and especially if the Panthers aren't putting their guys in there of let's not risk. There's already been, we've been calculating all of these different banged up injuries, nothing too serious for the most part, but do you want to risk that in a game when the defense, you're not even maybe really fully seeing what your offense can be or what your defense can be?
If they go ones, we go ones, I think they would work that out prior to. With that being said, do you need to see Eric Armstead? No, I'd rather let the other guys come in and play. If I'm Dickerson, although if he doesn't play, he just cements his spot on the team even more. It's already pretty cemented. I kind of want to see him play and if I'm him, I'd kind of want to play a little bit, just get into that game feel. Look, we're creatures of habit. Like if you don't feel the habit of game speed, game play, then it's just going to take a minute to adapt to it when it happens on the official game, the first Sunday. And it may take maybe a play, maybe it'll take a series, it might take a quarter, maybe it takes a half, could take the whole game until you get into that flow and that feel of what's happening, on a game speed type situation. So look, the question is this: look, can you be ready for week 1 with just the joint practices? Or do you need your starters to play, even if it's a little bit, in the games or a game before you kick it off? That's the question.
And to your point, I wonder a guy like Amir Abdullah, who didn't play against the Saints in that first preseason game, if he doesn't play tonight, does that just go to show you he's automatically on this team? And they're keeping 4 running backs, or maybe LeQuint may not be ready for week 1.
Well, that's the
soft tissue
caveat.
injury, so
Right.
just soft tissue
That's
injury.
what we don't know. How bad, if it's bad, like how long, and if he's not ready week 1, then you do need Amir to be there.
Yeah, unless you really like Amari Taylor over Amir Abdullah. One obviously has way more
between them anyway. Like you got your 3 with LeQuint,
not DJ Dallas,
and then it feels like those 2 trying to fight it off for the 4th.
I do have good news when it comes to the stadium. We had people reporters yesterday. Mark Limping took them around the stadium. The pools will stay.
Okay.
So for the Stadium of the Future, they will have the pools. You will already see tonight wider concourses, which is excellent.
Yeah.
You'll see that grand
Yeah, can't
staircase,
wait.
which I was able to see part of and take part of the grand staircase last year, which is fantastic. I feel like you get a really good view from there. And then as far as the concessions, the lower prices take into effect tonight. And I love that they recognize that with the, I'm not going to say previous stadium because it's still a previous stadium in the way it looks now, even though it's being renovated. But with the stadium, the pricing the way it had been, they were expecting concessions to be part of the revenue. They now, with the new model, the new renovated Stadium of the Future, they're not going to need the concessions to drive the revenue as much. So that's why they're able to lower it, which I appreciate that for people that take certainly kids. And,
Is it because it's less seating? You only have to fill 62,500.
You mean the Stadium of the Future?
The Future,
It's because the ticket prices will
gonna
be
be
significantly higher,
Okay.
and they'll also. We already have seen if you watch the video that Jacob put together, which is great, it's about 18 minutes or so on Jaguars or on 1010XL's YouTube of the Jaguars facilities, and so you can see that the lights are in that upper deck, which is so odd, I'm sure, and it will be odd tonight to see that. But you can also see just some of the changes that they've made, which it's going to look like a little bit like a construction site for the here and now.
Yeah.
But eventually, with that shade and with the way that they've created kind of like wind tunnels, I feel like they went to the amp and they modeled it after the amp. And they're like, how do we get a breeze in here?
I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be intimate and hopefully loud as you can get.
You can already see in the middle sections like the black, which I think looks really cool because before, I mean, teal, I get it, but it's cool to kind of have that tone. I think it just made it feel, and it's not even done. So you're only seeing glimpses
those are temporary,
of it.
those black
I'd be
seats.
interested to see.
And then now they have field level suites. So whereas before the suites were always, I felt like a little disconnected from the action because they're higher up. Now there will be certain field level suites. And so those types of tickets will obviously be a much higher price. And so therefore they don't have to charge quite as much for the concessions, which I do appreciate.
Which is similar what the Falcons did. When they built theirs, they're like, hey, we know ticket prices. We know the ticket prices are going to be higher. So we're going to lower, beers and hot dogs and nachos and all of that stuff because
you have to pay that premium for your seat license to begin. That's where some people were like, wait a minute, I'm not actually paying yes, I'm paying less for my hot dog when I go to the concession stand, but I'm coming out of pocket way more for this,
PSL.
the PSL.
I think all they're around the stadium though, it's all cheaper. Like if you look at their average price of like a beer or a hot dog, it's less than anybody else in the league, just a normal ticket. Like if you go on StubHub and buy a ticket, you're paying less prices.
Gotcha. Because I guess if you're buying a StubHub, you don't have to pay that premium seat license. One thing I did wonder was, and we've talked about, will the Stadium of the Future have grass or turf? So yesterday during Jags HQ, Jeff kind of asked Tony that, and Baselli was like, we're still working through that. So I wasn't going to play the whole cut because it takes a while. But basically it's like, we'll have the best surface possible, but he didn't say they'll have grass.
I read something this morning that the World Cup grass wouldn't be able to hold up to an NFL game. So it's different kind of grass. Everyone's like, you could just put the world. It was different. I guess the just all the activity. Maybe there's a lot of room on a soccer field. You're not used a lot,
like in the same spot as much.
Yeah, something like
different
that.
Different cleats.
Yeah, so I found that to be a little bit because everyone's like, well, they do it for the World Cup. I'm like, yeah, they do it, and they could do it for the NFL. There's no doubt, but it's not the same kind of grass, the same firmness, I guess.
Are you going to go back to school for agronomy?
No. But you know what's
not.
funny? My cousin is in the golf world in that.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at Augusta. He was number 2 in line at Augusta. Now he's up in like Carolinas at Ben Crenshaw's or something. Yeah.
Well, then
how's that? It all comes together.
It does all come together. I feel like we could get him on the phone and ask him some questions.
We should.
And be like, all right, explain to us
all the grass.
Why soccer grass is different than football grass. That makes
Tell
no
us
sense
all the
to
grass,
me.
Jimmy.
Yeah, give us more information on that. I mean, we talk about joints all the time, so
might as well talk about the grass.
Why not?
It fits.
One friend of ours, Jamie Shelton, with the Best Bet, he said, but will the stadium have air conditioning? No. But it will feel so much different and you're not in full sun and if there is a breeze. That will feel drastically different than sitting in 95-degree heat, which feels like 105
in the sun.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Just the feels like. I'm just like every time. Just call it. Feels like 105.
It's
110.
It's 110.
Right.
What I'm feeling is what it is.
Yeah. Now in the sun, it might be hotter than in the shade. So
Well, of course.
Yeah.
And with humidity, they always say it's like 20 degrees hotter in the sun than in the shade. But you add that
now
breeze,
we're meteorologists.
Exactly. Oh, we've been
grass knowers.
Yeah, exactly. All right, more to do on the other side, including Tom's Take. Don't go anywhere. Helmets and Heels, live from the 22nd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention here at World Golf Village, the Renaissance Resort. It is happening today, tomorrow, and Sunday. 250 award-winning tattoo artists and tattoo contests. Maybe Tom will enter one of the tattoo contests. We shall find out. It's 1010XL and 2.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Tom Bush family of dealership studio.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Lauren Brooks here. Game days are back in Duval like tonight, and Closets by Design is ready to make your home a championship space. Closets by Design does more than custom closets, although they do a great job with those too. But they can transform your man cave to wow your friends when they come over to watch the games. Schedule your free in-home consultation or a personal tour of their amazing showroom on Phillips Highway by calling 904-878-9393. Get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, and 18-month financing is available. Go online, closetsbydesign.com.
Bowden Iron Associates. Helmets and Heels Friday.
Looking for more than just another electrical job? At Miller Electric, you work on some of the most exciting and complex projects in the Southeast alongside a team that invests in your success. For more than 98 years, we built a reputation for doing great work while taking care of our people with competitive pay, outstanding benefits, career development opportunities, and a culture built on respect. If you're ready to build something bigger, there's a place for you at Miller Electric. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Joe C. for Wingstop. Have you ever heard of a flavor rodeo? Now available at Wingstop. Carolina Gold, a bold blend of tangy mustard barbecue, apple cider vinegar, and savory spices for the right amount of southern sweet and tang. And Jamaican Jerk, a rich barbecue sauce infused with chilies, thyme, cinnamon, garlic, nutmeg, and sweet molasses. Finished with a savory jerk season for an extra layer of flavor. Carolina Gold and Jamaican Jerk. Now that's a flavor rodeo for a limited time only at Wingstop.
I'm Rick Ballou. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, an all-day celebration for sports fans. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, including right here in Florida. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era. Remember the date, September 2nd. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code 1010XL, spend $5 and get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable. Predictions dollars that expire in 1 year ends August 23rd. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I'm Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Make your outdoor living space one you're proud of with Sutherland Lawn and Landscape. From landscape design and outdoor living spaces to turf, lighting, irrigation, pavers, and complete residential and commercial maintenance, Sutherland brings your vision to life with quality craftsmanship and a team you can trust. Sutherland Lawn and Landscape, transforming outdoor spaces, elevating everyday living. Visit SUTHERLIN lawn.com today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
And it's Jared Justice back at Tintin Cell headquarters, filling in for RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Time now for Tom's Take.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial #law. That's all.
All right, my take today on this beautiful Friday game day afternoon, brought to you by our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, is this whole little movement that seems to be taking place in front of our eyes. NFL players who don't feel like they're going to make it to the 53, they're going to fall on the practice squad or not make it at all, want to have the opportunity to go back and play college football with a 5th year of eligibility. Now, LB, Lauren Brooks here told me before the show that there was something that happened today where the federal government came in and squashed it for now. I'm sure there's going to be back-to-back battles. You know, just the whole look. I'm trying not to be like this old school curmudgeon, like, because to me, the surface of it just sends a terrible message. Like, okay, you're not good enough. That's what it is. You're not good enough to make a 53. You fall to a practice squad. First year, you make about $250K. Well, I can go back to school and make a lot more than that. I should be able to. So, in a sense, I kind of understand if you have the eligibility, right?
Right, but shouldn't you have stayed in school and not?
You should have. They probably thought they were better than maybe they were, and now they.
But that's a bad miscalculation on the players' part.
Agreed, and I'm not for it.
Right.
I'm just trying not to be so like these wusses.
I mean, no one would ever call you a curmudgeon.
Bunch of I can't say the word.
No, you cannot.
You know what I mean? If you were my son, I'd be like, no,
say wussy.
Go be tough and go play on the practice squad and earn a spot. By the way, first year in the NFL is $885, so that's a pretty darn good living.
For
I know
sure.
practice squad's a little bit different if you don't make it. First of all, who in their right mind would want the kid back if you know what I mean? Like, and
they're
who's
leaving.
paying him? Why would you pay a kid that kind of money? Like, so if you're getting $250, what is he getting? $500, $600, $1 million at school? Who would pay a kid that can't? You know what I mean? We've seen it in basketball. We just went through it in basketball.
Right, but it's also not fair because to the opposing college teams, because now this cat has had NFL coaches and training and nutrition and weight room.
I agree with that.
Since April, they've had all of this.
But
whether they're
can
drafted
you
or undrafted.
legally stop a kid from doing if
Well,
he's
the
got the
10th
eligibility?
Circuit Court of Appeals did grant the NCAA a stay this morning in order that reverses the federal judge's decision that previously opened the door for athletes in that year of 2022-2023 when they said they want their 5th season, because the NCAA originally said that only certain players could have that 5th year of eligibility. That's the problem. They should have just said everyone from 2022-2023 season, everyone can have that 5th year of eligibility. Then we wouldn't have gotten to this point. They would have stayed in school and they wouldn't have either been drafted or become undrafted.
Let's make it a little more personal, not just with us, with the audience. So Joey Aguilar. Doesn't make the 53. He's going to be practice squad. He says, hey,
hopefully he's going to practice
I can go back to Tennessee and make $3 million.
Now, he's, I think, a different scenario because I want to say he has already played more than 5 years in college. So I don't think he really has.
He was one of the ones that didn't get granted.
The
they told
6
him
year.
no.
He didn't get the 6 year.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
so he
it was
doesn't
weird.
even have the eligibility.
Yeah, it was weird because everyone, like Chambliss almost had an identical situation and was able to, and Aguilar couldn't.
The
so
medical thing.
But he didn't even really argue it. Like we saw Chambliss appeal and appeal and appeal, and Aguilar was just like, whatever, I'll go to the NFL. But for me, I almost feel like it's the NFL at some point needs to step in, because if whether you're using a late round draft pick or we know the undrafted guys you're paying, you pay them right away. Like they get X amount once you sign them to just even the camp roster or whatever the case may be. So at this point, I feel like because the NCAA is just such a mess right now and they can't figure anything out, the NFL needs to have some rule where it's like if you participate in a mini camp, an OTA, whatever the case may be, there's no backwards trajectory of going back to college football. You've surpassed that, because if not, the NCAA is not going to do it. There's too many appeals and the courts getting involved, and there's no, we talked about it, no NCAA somebody ahead of everything. It's all these commissioners for different that are just about their conference, which I get it. That's your job, is to be about your conference. But if you do the NFL, if Roger Goodell comes in and says, hey, once you play a snap, whether that's in a mini camp, an OTA, whatever the case may be, you're in the NFL. You can't go backwards.
The problem is they're going to sue the NFL at that point in time. And then a judge is going to do these temporary restraining orders, which is ridiculous.
And eventually the NFL is
Sure,
go
sue the
back.
NFL. This is our
don't
rule.
care anymore.
I'm not.
That's college football's problem, I guess.
But
or
we
you
saw
can't come back to the NFL if you
Maybe
do
not,
that.
yeah.
The NFL kind of skirted around the Brendan Sorsby issue too, because they just said no supplemental draft. It didn't actually suspend him prior to coming into the league, and so
it used to be if you signed a contract with an agent or an NFL team, your eligibility was done.
And that's how it should have been in college basketball, to your point earlier, where we've seen guys go back after signing a deal with the NBA.
You know what?
Can't play college sports
I never read contracts, but this shows you should read every word of every contract because they
or have your lawyer.
But how did that loophole get snuck in there? You know, that used to be. This is it.
Right.
You signed.
It's this whole
done.
NIL thing that's what's created the mess that we're in addition to the transfer portal, but more the NIL, because the moment that you're denying someone to make money, you're no longer in a capitalistic society.
That's right.
That's where the judges are ruling in favor of these players.
I was thinking earlier, and I'm like, at this point in time, we're trending towards college football just being like a G League technically. And so if that's what you're going to do, have D1 football and do what Tommy wants to do, and how do you word it? Get out the trim the fat. Get
Super
D1 football.
leagues.
You're the G League. The D2, D3 football is actual college football, because at this point it is like you're getting paid. You're making a lot of money. A lot of these guys making more money in college than they are in the NFL. I mean, now we're hearing that a lot of the I just bookmarked. I just bookmarked something where it's like I don't even have to go to class this year.
I don't know, by the way, if all those are true. Like, just because we see a graphic posted, like Lenora Sellers doesn't have to go to class. Like, I'm like, I don't know if that's really
Sometimes
true.
I saw a kid's quote. I saw a kid's quote that I can't remember who it is. I'll try and go back and find it. But his quote was like, I'm done pretty much, so I don't really have to go to class. And
if you have a master, an undergrad, then you don't have to, I guess, pursue your master's, although that used to be the case. Like, you had to keep pursuing education.
And they were like, he goes, I'm just going to do some online classes. And they're like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. I haven't talked about it yet. Like, that's
I saw what you're talking about. Yeah. I think it was a
core of
quarterback.
it is, it's just that whole, like, take my ball and go home. It doesn't work out, so poor little Jimmy. He can't make enough money.
Like, we've seen these guys like Jack
poor
Pyburn from
kid.
Jacksonville, from Bulls.
what is that? I don't.
He played in the preseason game last week with 2 sacks. No, I totally agree.
Is bad, man.
And he already he kind of gets on my nerves a little bit, honestly, because it's like the Florida. He wasn't going to get to play enough, so he cried and went to LSU. Then you got a little karma, and you guys sucked, and your coach got fired, and then now you don't get your way in the NFL, and you're going back to college football. Like, I just don't appreciate people like that.
I don't either. All right, good take there, Tom. And let's talk some tattoos when we return. Bert Simmons is going to join us here live at the 22nd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels from the Tom Bush family of dealership studio. You love sports. You live for the action.
He did it again!
Experience the excitement of the moment on 1010XL.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey, I know how awful it is to get injured out there, but never due to someone else's negligence like a lot of you. Tom McMahon is here. If this speaks to you directly, you got to check out Morgan & Morgan, the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. Over $30 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup, man. That's hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Dial Pound Law in your cell or check out forthepeople.com.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, enhanced by Bowden Iron Associates.
The investment landscape always changing. New rules, new regulations, new opportunities. But at ITP Partners, one thing stays constant: our commitment to your financial future. ITP Partners Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryant, Janice Cobb, Dan Abel, Reagan Wright, and Reed Wingate. Your personalized investment strategy built on trust, transparency, and experience. They're ITP partners. They're my financial partners for life. Registered representatives offering securities offered through Cetera Wealth Services, LLC, member FINRA SIPC, and advisory services offered through Blue Horizon Equity, Inc.
At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, care starts with listening, one-on-one consultations, clear answers, and a plan built around you. Our orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine physicians, and rehabilitation specialists work together to treat injuries, manage chronic pain, and restore strength and mobility. From your first check-in to your personalized treatment plan, everything is designed to help you move forward with confidence. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, expert care, improving lives.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect pair for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
I've worked with a lot of advertisers over the years, and you learn pretty quickly which ones are selling something and which ones actually care what happens after the sale. I'm Greg Gajewski, and when Awaken 180 first came to 1010XL, it started with Mike Dempsey, then Matt Hayes. From that first call, they wanted to understand our audience, not just buy a schedule. I talked with Paige, learned how the program worked, and at one point said, we got a guy, hacker, that could really use this. And her answer was immediate, let's help him. That's their entire mission. That's always been their answer. No revolving door, no corporate runaround. Paige never franchised Awaken 180 because she wants every coach, client, and endorser to feel supported. I saw that as a business partner, and then I experienced it myself. I went on the program and lost 50 pounds. That's why I endorse Awaken 180, not just because they're a 1010XL client, but because they care about people, and you feel it every day. Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Flame Broiler has a new limited time favorite, Korean short ribs. They marinate tender boneless short ribs in the Lee family authentic Korean kalbi recipe. Charbroil them for smoky flavor. Then top them with tangy sweet cucumber kimchi. Enjoy them in a bowl or on a plate. Order today in store or on the Flame Broiler app before they're gone. Flame Broiler, Korean short ribs. Limited time only. Order now on the Flame Broiler app or stop in today. But don't wait. Korean short ribs are only here for a limited time.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's gonna be funky. How come all the pretty girls like you are taken, baby?
I was just talking to Bert Simmons off the air, who lives in Nashville, about how fantastic Nashville is and how much I love country music. And Jared plays little Zach Brown band. I absolutely love it, but we do want to welcome you. In 22 years, you've been putting the Jacksonville Tattoo Convention on. Thank you for joining us,
Well,
Bert.
thanks for having me. Yeah, 22 years, I'm here.
Amazing. So tell us about the evolution of it. Started downtown Jacksonville?
It sure did. So I think a year after a major hurricane, we started downtown at the Adams Mart, the Hyatt. I went there a couple years, kind of grew out of that.
Okay.
Went across the river to the Wyndham over there on the San Marco area, and then found this lovely place and been here ever since.
Okay. And so right now, people are getting tattoos.
Correct. So, yeah.
We don't hear screaming, so it seems like they're good at their job.
Well.
So right now, a lot of the people are there. They're the appointments that they made earlier.
Okay.
A lot of the public will come later whenever the work lets out and then kids are done. And so yeah. So there's 250 tattoo artists from around. We have some from Italy, Puerto Rico, California, New York, and a lot obviously of them that are based around this area, in the local area.
Yes. So 22 years ago, obviously it's expanded now to the point where it's cards, collectibles, some of that type of stuff. I saw purses and hats and everything else in there. 22 years ago, what did it look like in that sense?
So the first year we did it was only 35 booths. So we are at 160 now.
Wow.
And we could probably double that if we wanted to. We had the space, so but we love it here, and so we're not going to do it. Yes, so it's a lot has changed in 22 years.
Yeah.
You know.
Bert, why Jacksonville? Just easy to get to? What's the
That's a great question, and everybody asks me that because I was born and raised in Nashville.
Yeah,
I
right.
only live here,
And you're a Colts fan.
and I don't have all these tattoos.
Oh, we didn't get to that part.
Don't tell our listeners.
I live in Nashville, and I'm a Colts fan.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you got the FC South surrounded.
If I'm out over the Texans, we'd be done, right? So I don't have any tattoos. For those who are listening, I have like 2, but not what you would think. So I had family that my brother's a tattoo artist, and my godmother was a tattoo artist in St. Augustine. And I used to run hotels and convention centers, so I knew that world.
Okay.
And so I decided, why not try this? And I guess it stuck. This spaghetti stuck on the fridge, and here I am.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. I love doing it.
Yeah.
I love events. I love doing new things and doing things a little different than the way a lot of people do it. And this is a different style of tattoo convention, but everybody here loves it. They keep coming back.
How long does this go on for? Like per day? I know it's throughout the weekend, but does it go through the night? Like when do you guys shut down? Do you have parties afterwards? I imagine your parties are a lot of fun.
That's what Tommy's ready for.
I'd like to go back to those. That'd be my kind of
We need to go
crowd.
back in time to the Adams Mart.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody threw like a couch off the roof. We're not. For those who's listening, we're not doing that
We're
anymore.
not doing that.
First, we have bad backs. We can't.
That's right.
So, so it starts at. It's like today. It opened up at 1. It goes to 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Tomorrow 11 to 11, and then Sunday 11 to 7 or 8. Kind of depends on what they want to do. The collector's alley, which has all the sports cards and everything. The hours are a little different on that because,
Security.
Security, baby. And then everybody goes. I don't know. After that, they go where they need to. The hotel is great. They stay open a little late for us for the bar and the food.
Cool.
And we used to go with Caddyshack, but they're not there anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But so everybody's here. But we know everybody. They bring their families and stuff. It's not what it used to be. It's
grown up.
It's
it's matured.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
right,
does
absolutely.
happen. Over
Yeah.
22 years.
So we're all looking at our retirement funds now. We're not looking at other stuff. So that's kind of where we're at.
So you said your son is here.
Yeah.
So how old was he when you started all this?
1.
Wow.
And he is 23 now. He's my favorite person on earth. He graduated from the University of Tennessee. Sorry, guys, again.
That's okay.
I'm just really not doing well. The first time he's ever been here, and well, you've seen him do events, but he's never seen the tattoo convention. So he's not overwhelmed. Everybody, obviously, he's a great young man, so everybody's fallen in love with him. So
let me guess, your college team is Georgia? What?
No, he's just there. Well, yeah.
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Vandy, there you go.
So Vanderbilt, and then because we paid some tuition, Tennessee. We got a little skin in the game
you
on that
paid
one.
less tuition at Tennessee than you would have at Vanderbilt. I was looking
Fighting
at the cost.
Jay Cutlers.
I was looking at the cost the other day. So for Vanderbilt, for 1 year, $99,000, and it doesn't matter in-state or out-of-state because they're private.
Yep.
So basically $100,000 per year,
no matter what.
$400,000.
BC's close to that.
You better know what you're going for, and you better have a reason
make that
to go.
decision.
No doubt.
Yeah, we might want to say from the marketing degree on that one. Save that to another one.
Like the University of Florida.
Maybe bioengineering. Maybe.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I get it.
No, marketing, trust me, I'm in it. I wouldn't spend $400,000 on me, that's for sure.
I did marketing at Florida for that very reason.
For that very reason.
Yeah, let's get an easy one. All right, does your son have tattoos?
No, not a one.
Is he thinking about getting one
Absolutely
after coming here? Okay.
These are easy ones.
Yeah, keep them coming.
I have not got. I've got one here when I was 16. I got one here. I don't know, and then this one again, probably 15 years. And I'm working so much, I don't have time to get a tattoo.
Okay. Yeah.
And my job is to run the convention. I always say a bartender doesn't have to drink. I don't have to get tattooed. I got to get the job.
All right,
done.
let's get back to the football. How did you become a Colts fan? Like you're from Tennessee.
Yeah.
They got there in what, 98, 97?
98.
98, because we played them in Nashville in 98.
In Nashville
Right, that's right. Yep.
So we're going to turn this all back around. My uncle met my aunt at Vanderbilt. There we go.
Okay.
My uncle happened to was best friends with Jim Irsay, the owner.
Okay.
And so
you have some stories.
Well, senior, you talking senior or junior?
The
junior. Old man?
No.
Okay.
That's
the old
Baltimore.
man.
That's Baltimore.
Okay. Yep.
That's in Indianapolis. Yep. And so I would go up there. I was fortunate enough to be able to go on the field, bet the last game at the RCA Dome. Obviously go to the box and meet a lot of people, and just that kind of that did.
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
So that was it.
That'll do it. And you had Peyton. Yeah,
and
paid
from
for
UT.
their own. Yeah, from you. See
I
how
mean,
it all comes together. It's crazy.
It's
how
all stitches together perfectly.
So do people show up without tickets? Obviously, we know they can buy them at the door, setattoo.com.
No, so you have to get your tickets at the door. So they show up
Okay.
without. We have ATMs. It's cash, and we just do it here. So, I don't trust websites sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows what we're doing. We've done it, and if we always work it out for them.
So, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, what is the process of the artist being able to get one of the booths here?
So, well, most of them, they've booked.
They've
out
been
for
doing
years.
it,
No,
yeah.
80% have been doing this for 10 years with me.
Okay.
So if there's an open spot, they reach out, contact us. We have to do a kind of little due diligence to make sure that it's on. We don't allow piercing; it's just tattooing. So we go through. We do look.
Then
at,
they'd be screaming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then we kind of make sure that everybody's on board and it's a good fit for us. And we're fortunate again. We're at the point where we can kind of pick and choose. And make sure it's more about the personality. Everybody's art is wonderful and it's subjective. So, but the personality is not subjective.
Yeah.
So they have got to be a good fit with our tattoo family.
When do you think tattoos became more mainstream? More just now it's like you see them everywhere.
Late 90s.
Late 90s. What made the switch?
The grunge era. I think right around that time is the rebellious grunge. I just, I'm speculating. That's the way I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know about legal stuff, but
well, no, we were talking about
the 2000s, and then when the internet came on, everybody could see what they're doing, and it was just more broad.
I got you.
I think
the stigma got thrown out the window.
You see it more on TV, and you saw it more now on the internet. Like the bands had it, and I just think that. Obviously there's a lot of traditional, old school, that's what I grew up with.
Right.
But, there's new inks now, there's new machines, there's I mean, it's amazing what they can do.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't even know. I'm just wowed sometimes.
Yeah,
like the old school, sometimes the tattoos would get blown out and blurry and things like that. Now I feel like it's like the most finite details.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't do that on a wall with a perfect set. I couldn't even come close. And they're doing
Can't even do stick figures good.
On skin.
Like,
Yeah.
It's hot, it's sweaty. Like, I got this. And it's like, I'm like, and it's like, is that a sticker? I'm like, no, it's actually in their skin. I'm like, I don't know. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. Well, yeah, for people who've never been before, give them the final pitch of why they should come here to the World Golf Village.
So 22nd year World Golf Village. It's the venue's wonderful, free parking, kid friendly. They got a swimming pool. They allow you to use it.
Nice.
We've got so much to do. We've got vendors. We got tattooing.
Yep.
It's just a great time. We really appreciate everybody and all types. And
that's right. Everybody's welcome at the tattoo convention.
Whether you have them, whether you want them or not. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just come by, guys.
Just come see for yourself.
Come see it, yeah. I can't do it.
Well, Bert, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
we really
guys.
appreciate it.
Good to see you, Bert.
Everybody come on down to St. Augustine, get your tickets, and check out the convention. We've got more to do on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
From the Tom Bush family of dealership studios.
I know what you're trying to do.
1010XL.
I'm trying to free your mind, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.
Free your mind.
Frank Francie here. The deals at Nimnik Buick GMC have never been better. This month, save up to $16,000 off a new GMC Sierra truck, the kind I drive, and I love it. Or save more than $6,000 on a new Buick SUV. Plus, 0% financing for 60 months is now available. With the largest selection of new Buicks and GMCs in the region, why would you go anywhere else? Shop online at nimnikbuickgmc.com or head to the showroom off Phillips Highway. Great prices, great interest rates. Who takes care of you? Really takes care of you? Nobody but Nimnik. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Fountain Iron Associates.
Friday.
I'm the thread that's already inside the house. In the closet, under the bed, in the car. But I don't want your money or your TV. I can't be scared away or negotiated with. I'm patient and quiet. I don't sleep. You can't call the cops on me. You can't even see me. I'm the threat of family fire. And as long as your guns aren't stored securely, I'll be there. Protect your family. Secure all your guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. A public service announcement brought to you by by Brady and the Ad Council.
I'm Olivia Brooks with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by JEA. The Jags' first preseason home game is tonight at 7:30, and Game Day Express is back. Skip the parking hassle and let JTA do the driving with round-trip transportation and parking included. There are 2 pickup and drop-off locations for preseason. Get your tickets at jtafla.com. It's 95 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
He had 2 of the NFL's fastest feet. Find out how fast Fred feels about what's happening on the field. Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on The Drill, Monday mornings at 8:30. Brought to you by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Wingstop.
Yo, what's happening, football fans? It's your main man, E to the T. And it's almost time to draft your team and kick off another season. This year, take your fantasy football draft party to Twin Peaks, where cold drinks, made from scratch food, and wall-to-wall TVs make your lodge the ultimate draft day headquarters. Round up your league, grab a table, and get ready for some picks, the rivalries, and the full season bragging rights. Whether you're defending a title or drafting for the first time, start your fantasy season at Twin Peaks. Book your fantasy football draft party at your local lodge today.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Today's vehicles are smarter than ever, but that also means they need more precision than ever. Features like lane assist, collision warning, and adaptive cruise control all rely on cameras, sensors, part of what's called ADAS. And if those systems are even slightly off, they might not work correctly. That's why, after certain repairs, your vehicle will need ADAS calibration. At G&H Tires and Service, they have the ADAS system, so your vehicle's safety features work the way they're supposed to. Don't guess with your safety. G&H Tires and Service. Precision that protects.
Attention contractors. Stop wasting time dealing with permits yourself. Use PermitRockstar.com. Their permitting platform helps contractors cut permitting delays by up to 80%. Stop waiting and start building with PermitRockstar.com.
We have big rolls of carpet, hardwood too, laminate tile, area rocks for you. At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Our prices are low, 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 low.
At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Don't delay, we'll put it in next day.
At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man. Y'all don't see us now, you hear? At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Visit one of our mega flooring stores or go to carpetman.biz or
call 838-6705. The Carpet Man.
With today's car prices, you need financing that fits your budget. Move forward with a better auto loan from First Florida Credit Union. Whether you're buying or refinancing, you'll benefit from competitive low rates, flexible terms, and up to 90 days with no payments. Stop by a branch or apply online at firstflorida.org/carloan. Enriching people every day. Membership eligibility required. Interest accrues during loan payment deferral period. Federally insured by NCUA. Details at firstflorida.org/carloan.
Find the middle of the fairway with your drives. Get the golf tips and talk to keep you straight.
That's a great tee shot.
On the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Calls me from the cold. Just when I was low, feeling short of stable.
Thanks again to Bert Simmons for joining us, the event organizer here at the 22nd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention. We are live at World Golf Village and the Renaissance Resort, passed by the Slammer and Squire on the way in here. That's a great golf course. The Guggen has been at the Slammer and Squire in the past, so certainly familiar with these parts. Y'all want to keep singing?
I love the song.
It's a great tune.
It is a great song.
Yeah,
It's one of my
Dad
all-time
starts it
favorite
on
songs.
occasion.
There you go, Jared.
Turn it up.
That's right.
Let's just listen to this for the rest of the time.
I love it.
Good one.
Well, we'll go from this to Taylor's Tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
So I have a clip that I want to play. If you did not watch Jordan Schultz, we saw him out at camp. I can't even remember. Everything's blurring in. I don't remember if it was last
I think it was
week or
the
the week
joint practice
before.
on Wednesday. I know he was here for the joint practice.
He was there
against the
Wednesday.
Panthers,
Okay, well,
yeah.
he was here like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, too. I saw him earlier in camp on a normal training camp day. But he sat down with Trevor Lawrence, and that in the interview, a few of the clips have popped up in this. And so I wanted to play one because it was more so funny, showing Trevor's personality in the sense of like being goofy and how he can joke around. So I want to play that first, but then I want to turn it into a more serious conversation about the start of the schedule, which you mentioned. That's why I said you might have foreshadowed when it comes to some of those defenses that the Jaguars will face in the beginning of the season. But Jared, if you'll play the clip first.
You open with the Browns week 1. What was your reaction to seeing the Myles Garrett trade?
I mean, I wasn't too upset about that one, obviously, because especially starting the season week 1. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't the worst news. Obviously, Jared Verse is a great player.
Yeah,
so
yeah, of course.
It's not like they don't have someone that can rush the passer now. But, I mean, Myles Garrett, so dominant, so much respect for him. I played against him a lot of times, so...
I guess that is some good news. You were already looking towards having to go against Myles Garrett week 1, and then all of a sudden you don't. To his point, Jared Verse is good. But I went through and I was looking at the first 5 weeks of opponents because we've talked about that in the sense of they're playing some really good defenses in that first 5 weeks. And some of them, the one outlier in that in recent years is the Bengals, but the Bengals added a lot defensively.
Especially up front.
Miles Murphy, Dexter Lawrence, Jonathan Allen, Boye Mafe, and Demetrius Knight are their up front guys like that.
And I know the joint practice with the Bears has been happening, and every report was
Dexter
like
Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence is he tipped up
dominant.
a pass and then caught it himself for the interception,
He's a
and
dominant
he
player.
was constantly in the backfield. For sure.
He's really good. So I was looking at some of those, and I just did sacks. I didn't go into everything else. You kind of know some of these teams are also run defense-wise really good too, but I wanted to look at that number just because he was talking about Myles Garrett, and when you think of Myles Garrett, you think of sacks. That's just kind of what it leads to.
23 of them.
Yeah. So week 1 last year, the Browns, for example, we'll start with that because that's who the week 1 is they'll play the Browns. And so they're up front. And then some of them I included, they have different defensive schemes. So you're including their outside linebackers and their linebackers in that sense. But I did include most of the time that defensive front with some of the team's linebackers if they are ones that get blitzed or if they are outside linebackers.
So is this last year? So does the Browns include Myles Garrett's sacks?
So this is no. So this is their current rosters.
Got it.
If
Okay.
this current roster, how many sacks were accumulated between this group of
Okay,
guys?
good.
Got
And so this also could look different because it's not Myles Garrett on this. But so the Browns, for example, it's Alex Wright, Malik Collins, Mason Graham, Jared Verse, Quincy Williams, and Carson I struggle with that. Schlesinger.
Yep. Great play.
26 sacks by those guys last year. And so you talk about a team who had a little over 30 sacks total. That's a big number for this defensive front. That's not talking about some of those blitzes you get from the, some of those
Secondary
cornerbacks
and
and the
whatnot.
secondary
Nickel.
in general,
Yep.
and rotational pieces. I only took the main starters for each of those groups. That's a lot of sacks. Week 1, you're coming out, not even including Myles Garrett. So if you break that down, Alex Wright had 5.5, and it's similar to what we've talked about Seattle did, where you're not having anybody have 13, 14, 15 sacks. It's
Well, 'cause
a
they
lot
had
of
Myles
guys.
Garrett.
Yeah.
They
Well,
didn't-
this group, it's more so it's spread out. Alex Wright, 5.5, Malik Collins, 6.5, Mason Graham only had a half a sack, Jared Verse, 7.5, Quincy Williams, 3.5, Carson Schlesinger, 2.5.
Yep.
So it looks like their approach is more so you're not going to be able to get 20 sacks from one of these guys, but what you can hope is you're getting 6, 7, 8
Sacks
from
by
multiple
committee.
guys. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what Seattle did last year. And so week 2, the Broncos is they had a total of 38.5 sacks last year with their guys Malcolm Roach 4, Zach Allen 7, Jonathan Cooper 8, Justin Strand 4.5, Alex Singleton 1, and then Nick Bonito, which we talked about a lot, had 14 sacks last year. So that is when you talk about even that, they did have that one guy that had a ton of sacks, but then it also spaced around a lot of guys that could get 5, 6, 7, which is what we've talked about here so much. You have the confidence that Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker, when they're healthy, can get you that double digit at least, the 10 sacks, maybe a 14 sacks, something like that. But you just need somebody who can come in and get you more than 2 or 3. Like that's what kind of your hope is. So the Patriots week 3 had a total of 22 sacks, and their guys up front, Milton Williams 3.5, Barmore 2, Draymond Jones 7, Robert Spillane 1, and then Harold Landry had 8.5. And then week 4, the Bengals. This is one that I was talking about.
Chaseon's not there anymore.
Yeah, Chaseon's
Yeah,
gone.
he's with Washington.
Washington.
And Dramont Jones is new. He's
Yeah.
a good player. I
Yeah.
like him.
The Bengals I mentioned, so it's still not a crazy amount, but it does just names-wise, Miles Murphy, Dexter Lawrence, Jonathan Allen, Boye Mafe, and Demetrius Knight seem a lot better than what they had last year, but that combined is 14.5 sacks from those guys. Maybe the combination of all of them working together, you'll get a little bit more, but I think the Bengals just want anything and everything because the defense has been so bad. And then week 5, the Eagles had 20 total sacks between their guys up front, and so honestly, it wasn't looking good for them last year. It was like Jalen Carter 3, Jonathan Grenard 3, 3, Zach Bond 3.5, Jordan Davis 4.5. And so they're definitely probably when you go from having 70 plus sacks a couple seasons ago, they're probably hoping they get a little bit more. They're another team though. If I would have probably went a little deeper in the depth chart, I probably would have found some more guys who had 4, 5, 6, something around that range. But I was just looking at the front. But it was just interesting because you go through those first 5 weeks, 26 sacks, 38.5, 22, 14.5, 20 are the defenses that you're facing in those first 5 weeks. And with an offensive line that hasn't had a ton of time together this offseason, that you're kind of battling some injuries throughout. So we'll see how healthy everybody is. But I just thought it was interesting to look at it that way.
It's very interesting. So think about this. So say the starting O-line doesn't play at all the preseason. You put them out there against Cleveland?
Are you confident
for
he's
the
not
record,
getting wrecked?
Jared Verse may not be Myles Garrett, but he's a heck of a ball player, man. And he can wreak havoc. He can ruin your day.
He's one of the best run defenders out there that you can have
I just read where the tackle for the Bills, Deion Dawkins, they had joint practice. They said, that kid's legit. He's like, look, he's not Myles, but he's a legit player. So, and they had a good defense overall. Of course, having Myles Garrett in that massive amount of production, but they stopped the run well inside. They were very physical. Their backers are good. They got a good second half. My point is, I want our whole line to at least feel like, we got some chemistry, we got some continuity, we got something there, because then it's at Denver. That don't get any easier.
No.
You know what I mean? These first 5, 6, the first 6, Philly and Houston, throw them into the defensive. Like, you got some serious guys you're going against on that defense. Now, can our defense hang in there and keep that offense at bay? Maybe. But our O-line, man, we got to make sure that they're right. So I do want to see a little bit of them playing just for that mere cohesion. Like, get it together, know who your 5 are. We'll wait for Cole when he's ready. We'll figure it out. We're gonna play him. Hey, we're paying him. We got to play him. He's got to jump. He's got to replace somebody.
Yeah.
Who that is, we'll figure it out at the time. Whoever's the 5th best.
I think if the position group, the offensive line, hadn't been nicked up so much during this training camp at certain points in time, that's why I think they would put those starting 5 out there, regardless of whether Trevor's out there or Nick Mullins. But that's what I think they're just worried about. But again, that's maybe my fear projecting.
Well, here's the thing. Look at it not physical against New Orleans, very physical against Carolina. Which one are you?
Yeah.
It better be the latter. It better be the latter. That physical. And I liked what Liam said. He said, in New Orleans, we waited to get punched in the mouth, and then we got mad, and then we turned it on.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to wait till we get punched. Why aren't we starting with being the puncher? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So, and they responded. I mean, the team definitely responded. There was a lot more physicality. Ezra, Pregnon, they were all getting at Pregnon. We're getting after it. Monheim, the big hits that were delivered. Antonio Johnson's hit, Ventrell Miller.
How do you create that sense of urgency if you don't play in the preseason and the first time the starting 5 is rolling out is against the Browns? Are they going to – we've seen this team, not under Liam Cohen, but we've seen this team come out kind of lackadaisical in the past, even the home opener. And it is so frustrating, obviously, for fans.
Yeah. And you definitely don't want – with the schedule this year, by the time you played the Broncos last year, Trevor and the offense was playing their best football.
Yeah, it was almost Christmas.
They were playing their best football by that point in time. It was a slow start. There was a lot of factors into that last year, but I do think with the schedule they have this year, obviously a first place schedule, you don't want to have that 5, 6, 7 week period where you're waiting for penalties to stop and you're waiting for people to be able to catch the ball and you're waiting for, some of those just more mechanical things to settle in. And so I do think that you want to, I'm not saying first drive score a touchdown, because I do think we see around the league, it's taking a little, I went over those numbers the other day. Some of the best teams, the Super Bowl teams, the best scoring teams in the league, there was a drastic difference between the first 6 weeks and after that. So I'm not saying that, but you definitely want to see it a little quicker than you did last year, especially considering the majority of these guys have been in Liam Cohen's system now for 2 years.
Yeah.
From the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, I can't tell if this is a compliment or not. Can we just have a few music segments with you 3? Does that mean you really
don't want
enjoy
us
the
to
music?
talk
Or,
anymore.
you don't want us to talk. I'm not sure how to take that. But yeah, we've got lots of comments from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures about Tom's take as far as the college football stuff, because obviously there's such a debate there. It's a polarizing topic. Some people believe that if you don't get drafted, you should be able to go back to the college. I understand that, but I think you needed to make that decision in April, not after the entire 4 months you've spent with the NFL team getting that type of training, and then you get to go back to college at that point in time. All right, we've got lunch to give away on the heels of Good Luck Jaguars offense, the first offensive line, the first 5 weeks of the season. It's really 7 weeks of the season.
We have free lunch for 2 to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 3, you get free lunch. And I reminded you guys last weekend with the peach milkshake. So only a few days left to grab that before those fall menu items come out. So make sure you grab one of those when you get your chicken sandwich, your free chicken sandwich, or your free chicken nuggets. But get us a call right now and win some lunch.
Caller number 3, 641-1010. We will go around the NFL. When we return, you're listening to Helmets and Heels live from the 22nd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Tom Bush family of dealership studio, Jeff Prosser.
This is my best friend in all the world. That's who he is.
But does he have a name?
Oh, yeah.
Dan Hicken.
Is everyone you know so famous?
Famous? Him? What are you talking about?
Mornings on 1010XL.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank Performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. One winner gets round-trip airfare for 2, 4 nights hotel, and 2 tickets to the Jags game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 6/29 to 8/27/26. Get official rules and details at everbank.com/London Rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A. Member FDIC.
Helmets and Heels Friday
is brightened by Bowden Iron Associates.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious? Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics this season. These free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings through October 31st from 9 to 10 at Core Tech Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT Fleming Island, and Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and in World Golf Village.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is it. The legendary live band, Fish, returns to the road this October. Fish, Friday, October 9th, Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Just hold tight, all right.
Your Sporting Jacks women are back this Saturday at 7 at Hodges Stadium against the Tampa Bay Sun. It's always thirsty on the pitch, featuring $1 beer and $1 hot dogs. Meet the newest member of the Sporting Jacks family before the game Saturday at Hodges Stadium.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie for the farm at Okefenokee. My wife and I and a bunch of friends just got back from the farm, and we had an incredible experience. We toured the regenerative farm, as well as the beautiful handcrafted cabins, and were treated to a fantastic farm-to-table dinner created by Congreve and Penn. Man, was it good. Well, you can learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com. And even hear my interview with farm co-founder Doug Davis to learn even more about this amazing property. That's okefarm.com.
Prosser here, and if you're in the market for buying or selling your home, let me make it a lot easier for you. 2 names, Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. Need max price? Chad and Sandy's science-based Market Max system is a proven, repeatable system guaranteed to sell your home for maximum price. You want to talk guarantees? Using the Max Market system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. It's as simple as that. James and Sue in St. Augustine said, my wife and I wanted to move to Ocala for more space. We interviewed 3 other agents who didn't last 5 minutes. Chad and Sandy's team spent time answering all of our questions and made us feel important. Our home was sold in 1 week at the highest price in the neighborhood while many neighbors failed to sell. That's the kind of proven results you get with Chad and Sandy. So call the local agents who guarantee to sell your home, who I know and trust. Reach out to Chad and Sandy, 414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
The time to buy an emergency generator is before you need it, not when you're sitting in the dark. Storms happen in a hurry in Florida, so be prepared. Protect your family and property with American Electrical Contracting. Call them today, 737-7770.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Tom McManus, our legend, is in the house. Taylor Dallas here.
I love sticking that in, don't you?
I'm Lauren Brooks. You're Justice back at Cincinnati
Right this
headquarters.
side.
That's right. I know how much you love it. Look, I listen to the 10XL shows all day long, right? That's what I do. I have it on at all times. And I heard earlier today on Jaguars Today, it was time for the golden moment. Taylor, did you hear this?
I did not.
Time for the golden moment. And Tom goes, my golden moment is me. And I was like, now I
love that.
I know, but I can call you a legend now all show long because you said the golden moment is you. It's like the time that I put in the rundown, like, well, welcome Tom back. And you did crosstalk and you're like, we're going to welcome me back.
What are you guys talking about today? Well, I'm back.
I'm back from vacation, and that is important for the people to know.
We're just glad you didn't go back to college after you already played.
Yeah, really. I wouldn't be able to live my life, that's for sure.
We did see that Tom's favorite quarterback, Thomas Castellanos, was one of the ones granted an extra year of eligibility.
This is when you need. This is it.
The
You
season's
just need
almost
8
here.
years in college, and you might be good.
Yeah, maybe.
The season really
turn
is.
It around.
I mean, it begins not this Saturday, obviously, the college football season. It begins next Saturday, and then in
Right.
earnest the following Saturday. This all needs to get worked out. But yeah, that was Tom's take earlier, in case you missed it. As far as around the NFL, the Colts tight end Tyler Warren is expected to only miss about a week with the groin injury. So that is good news for him. He suffered that during Wednesday's practice. The Ravens center Danny Pinter did not, however, get good news. He tore his patellar tendon, which is what the Bears offensive tackle Ozzie Trapilo did last year. What month was that? Was it January? Okay.
It was in the first playoff game.
Yeah. So then, poor Danny Pinter would have loved to have torn it, I'm sure, in the postseason, but doesn't even get to play a snap in the regular season. And he was working towards trying to get that center starting job after Tyler Lindenbaum departed. So we feel for him. Vita Vea and the Buccaneers agreed to a 31-year, $30 million extension. So Vita Vea will be in Jacksonville next week, but he won't be a Jaguar.
I tell you what, he all of a sudden said, Buck for life.
Yeah.
The whole time.
And my
for
back,
1 more year.
my back seems to be much better.
I tell you what, I want to see him up close.
I would like to see him.
Oh my gosh,
not if I'm an offensive lineman.
No, us. I mean us.
On the sideline.
For sure. We will get to see him.
He had the Jalen Ramsey for a little bit. It's okay.
Back is really tight. Oh, wait. Signed a deal. Perfectly
Yeah, now
fine.
I feel good.
The Cowboys and the Saints, those teams were fined $500,000 for the fights that we saw during their joint practice earlier this week.
I like skirmishes, but if they go too far, then they're stupid. I mean, you can't really hurt anybody unless you can get to their face, which the most time you can't get to their face.
Sure.
You grab their mask, you pull it.
Right.
What is it really?
It's when they rip the helmets off and punches
if
are
they
thrown.
can get it in, yeah. But normally that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It's just you're wasting time is what you're doing. And, again, you don't want anybody taking a shot at your guys. You should go over there and give him a shot back kind of deal. You know,
shove.
No different than in baseball. You hit my guy, I'm going to hit you. You know, it's kind of that.
Plunked.
And that's it. Yeah, you're getting plunked, right? But it shouldn't get to where you're getting fined $500. Gee, that means punches. That means who knows what.
Well, it was like
Kicking.
15 of them.
Yeah.
Like different times, I mean.
Yeah.
Right. I was surprised that some of the ones that threw punches were allowed to finish practice. Normally, I feel like you throw a punch, you're out of practice.
Yeah. And I saw the NFL's. I'm not surprised.
I have college more than pro, but college, I mean, you know.
And what did TC do?
Well, it actually one of the first on the field fights I got into was before TC at BC. It was Jack McNell, and this guy ended up being my friend. He's still my friend, Mark Aiken. He played guard, and he was a couple years old. He's a big senior, and I was a redshirt freshman still. No, I was even a freshman, so I was redshirt. It was that next spring, and he came out, and it was a little guard on linebacker thing, and we jacked each other, and then he punched me, and I was like, okay. Now he had all the pads on. I didn't have any pads on. And I drilled him 3-1. I went nuts. I was like, I'm not standing down from you. And Jack Bicknell let us go. He's like, let him go. And I could hear. I was like, all right.
He punched you where? Did you still have your
just in
helmet
the
on?
face. Yeah, we have our helmet. Point is,
That's
it's so
what I
dumb.
mean. Yeah.
You have your helmets on.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why I didn't know if he got you like in the gut.
No, I would do abs. They're strong enough. Gut shot wouldn't do crap. Kidney shot will put me down,
Yeah.
but a gut shot, no. But and then
gut shot, he said,
but-
not gun shot.
yeah, right, gut.
Yeah, gut.
So that was, again, stupid because thank goodness I didn't hurt my hands punching them. But it did earn a lot of respect. I mean, that was, kind of a defining moment of, I am going to fight back. So if you want to do it, then let's do it. But
And then that coach got fired.
Jack did, yeah. We he had a great run with the Flutie years. He was great. I love Jack Bedell. He's a great coach, great guy. My linebacker coach was great, Red Kellen. God bless him. God rest his soul. He passed. Little Jewish guy. He used to give me so much crap. He went. I'll never. I got in trouble early. I was such an idiot early. I'm not going to spill it all out. I'm Jaguar of the game, man. I'm not going to give it all out today.
Legend.
It was bad. I was
He's
bad.
like, let me tell you why I was a legend.
I got in trouble at BC the first week. I got arrested 3 times by campus police.
Oh.
And one was
in 1 week.
I thought you weren't spilling.
First week. Very
It was
first
only 7 days.
Yeah, it was the first week. And anyway, so when Coughlin got the job, this was years later. He had obviously done his homework, and he's like, "The hell did you do your first week of college?" I was
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
Coach, I don't know.
Did your parents find out?
No, hell
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell them that. Because I never really got in trouble.
No.
Nothing really happened. I didn't get arrested.
Slap on the wrist.
They didn't put me in jail or anything like that. It wasn't like that, but that they had to come to my room or there was a disturbance outside or something like that.
I was were you being too loud? That's all it was.
Yeah, just freedom and, youngness and just, being able to roam
I
wild
wonder-
a little bit.
Okay, text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010. Has anyone else that you've ever heard of gotten in trouble 3 times in the first week of college? I won't even throw arrested out there. But one person
Yeah.
says, well-deserved Tommy Mack, legend on and off the field. TC, the first head coach, knew what he was doing. Duval.
Thank you.
So, yeah,
Yes.
if we only wanted to read all the good things, I know we could spend the whole
Yeah.
rest of the show doing that. But no, I find it interesting and cool almost that Tom Coughlin, when he got the job, did that much digging prior to. Like, instead of just talking to the guys and talking to the athletic trainers and the nutrition staff and trying to figure out, like we always talk about, those athletic trainers know it all.
They do know it all.
But he went beyond that and went
Yeah.
back to your freshman year and did that kind of digging. Like that to me-
Not for the Jags when he got the job
Right,
at BC.
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Which was year
I think that's
3.
pretty
I
impressive.
had a couple other things that happened.
That's
so
okay.
it
We're
was,
going to gloss over those,
yeah.
Tom. You're a legend of
Let's-
the game. We're going to
That's
skip.
right. I grew up. That's what I did. I grew up. I had
Just
to
like
grow
the
up.
22nd annual Jacksonville.
Right, me and Bert are the same. It's the same thing. I used to throw furniture and things.
Sure.
Not out of a hotel room.
You and Morgan
but,
Wallen.
yeah.
All right, last night's preseason game, Raiders at Texans. Clint Kubiak has not decided who is the starting quarterback, or at least isn't going to tell us yet. So still a competition there between Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza, who I feel like Fernando Mendoza is going to become like the 2026 version of Tim Tebow. People are either going to love his personality or it's going to get on their nerves very quickly.
Yeah.
And I like his personality, but I can understand those that think he's annoying.
Yeah, you already are seeing that split where some people are like, he's kind of weird and that part is aggravating. And then other people are like, it's quirky and fun. I think it'll depend. Even like I could see right now it doesn't bother me. I could see eventually maybe it's starting to annoy me where it's like, is this, are we 12 forever?
Right.
Or are you going to,
Say hello
Max
to Mr.
likes him.
Buck for me.
Max Crosby likes him. So,
Look,
I thought
players
he
just
looked
want the
all right
best
on the
quarterback.
field.
Yeah, he had a pick 6, but other than
Yeah, I
that.
thought he
And
was
then
all right.
when it comes to C.J. Stroud, Adam Schefter reported that Stroud is looking for around $70 million
that's
per
crazy.
year. The Texans, though, are willing to do 50 to 55.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm surprised the Texans are even willing to do that much. If I was the Texans, I'd be like, I'm not paying you as much as these starting quarterbacks around the league. You haven't shown outside of your rookie year that you can be a I would say, an elite franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
$55 million, you better be really talented, if not elite.
Oh no, we did that here.
And 70s.
I mean, we paid Trevor that, and he definitely was not worth that yet, especially. And like maybe just last year, you felt like he was starting to do that.
You had to get ahead of it, and I get that. But
And
like
that's what
Trevor
they have
wasn't
to do.
seeking the $15 million over what the highest guys were getting.
Them
at the
playing
time.
50-55 though is what Trevor got like 2 years ago. So you're technically that is honestly kind of a discount. I feel like.
But Trevor wasn't looking for the highest. Like this is
Well,
the
I'm not
highest.
saying you
of
said
anybody.
50-55 that as a team you wouldn't want to pay that. I think that
Stroud
makes
was
sense.
70 though. Is what
No,
I'm
I know,
saying.
but I'm saying the team. I'm saying like the
I
team
still think that's high
offering
for him,
50-55. I get because at this point in time that's not even the highest are going to be at 60, 65, 70, 75 soon.
You think you would pay him that?
I mean, this year I think is a determinant of that.
See, I like Trevor's attitude better than I like CJ Stroud's attitude. I think that's where I'm at on them too. And so I see your point as far as financially, it makes sense to get your quarterback signed long term if you think he's the guy.
Yeah.
I just
no way.
And it's that coming off the postseason is the main thing, but I also think we've talked about it on the show. When you look at he even had a bad season last year, was still decent. Like it wasn't
rating.
a terrible.
He
He didn't suck last year until that final playoff game.
Yeah,
and
the most important.
Yeah, which I mean, Trevor couldn't get out of the first round. So there's all of these caveats to that, and I think at some point you're like, if you think you can continue to develop him, and that personality part is a large thing. I've never heard them talking about that though. We say that a lot, and anybody I've talked to in Houston is always like, I mean, the people, when you win, that doesn't matter. So you want to get, and you won 12 games last year when you were just fine. And so I think that's part of it. But this year, there's a reason they didn't give that to him already. Like the Jags played that Trevor before he even played the season to look like that. And they are saying, no, you're playing out the season and we'll discuss it after.
Yeah, I mean, look, we went through this exercise with Parker Washington, right? As a player, you look at yourself and your production, your value, and you go, okay, who's making what? I'm as good as him. I'm not as good as him. I'm close to whatever it may be, and you find your value. So Dak Prescott gets $60 million a year. Matthew Stafford signed a 1 year, $55 million. That's a true $55 million a year. You tell me C.J. Stroud is $10 to $15 million a year better than no
70? No way.
No, I know. I'm not. I know you're saying no way. But the point is the audacity to even think that you're anywhere near that. I wouldn't pay him 60. I mean, the market is what the market is, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to invest in your franchise QB, it's in that 50 to 60 range today.
Yeah.
It ain't a penny higher than Dak. I'll tell you that. At least in my opinion,
Right.
I could see him going for the high 50s. I mean, look, when Trevor did sign it, I know I was like.
Well,
55 a year. Now, it's not truly
like you're paying him Joe
55 a
Burrow
year,
money?
but
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was like being one of the highest paid at his position. Like, man, he hasn't shown that. Like,
Right.
wait a year and pay him more.
Look at the defense Stroud has too, right? Like how many times does the defense give him the ball back?
Listen,
sack the quarterback, things that other quarterbacks are on the league
that's why
don't
I
have the
think
luxury of.
they're probably should be paid somewhere near the same.
Yeah.
Him and Trevor.
Because he's also saying
they're pretty close.
We haven't been able to run the ball and all of those things. The same excuses almost we used here in that sense of how much can you get done if you only have this, this, and this. You lose one of your main weapons in Tank Dell. And so I'm saying 70 is crazy. There's no way I would go anywhere near that. But I feel like his personality definitely leans towards that when it's just like, I am here. Yeah.
And his agents maybe in his ear saying, hey, you can get 70, or his family. You never know. Don't get 60. Go for 70.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like.
If he had had a good postseason, then I would understand the conversation from his side of things.
I still wouldn't pay him more than Dak. And Dak's not the greatest, but he's the highest paid.
I think Mahomes is now the highest paid.
Oh, Mahomes. Right.
So
So I'm not paying him anywhere near
No
that.
way.
Absolutely not. And one final note around the league, in addition to all the preseason games we have, including tonight's Jags-Panthers, but the Chargers' new center may end up being Jake Slaughter after we saw
really?
Tyler,
The Florida Gator, right?
And I don't know how to say his last name, go down with an injury.
Yeah, Biadez or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What a shame. They just got him, too, right? To replace their other center.
Yeah. So tonight, we've got Jets, Steelers, Panthers, Jags, and Packers, Broncos.
Okay.
All of those are on tap, and then a ton on tomorrow on Saturday, and then one on Sunday, but it doesn't kick off until 8 p.m. Seahawks at Titans.
Oh, Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, but put that game on at 1.
One,
Take
yeah.
one of the Saturday games, put that on at 1, and then maybe one at 4, one at 8. Sure.
Yeah.
We have to wait until 8 p.m. on Sunday for
I see
football.
what
That's
you're saying.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
When
that's
we've got like 10 games or
Well,
more
the
on
other 2
Saturday.
days, yeah.
I don't like it, but
Yeah, me
that's
either.
neither here nor there.
I like Sunday Night Football, though. That's a good way to end the Sunday.
Yeah, but I want Sunday
Not that I make
football
the whole
in the
game, but-
afternoon too.
Yeah.
Like I want to watch
all day
football.
long waiting until football starts.
Right, go to the beach, hang out, and then you eat dinner, and then here's football.
And then fall
you know
asleep.
you're going to be
Fall
asleep.
asleep.
Yeah, I was about to
that
say, you're
kickoff.
going to be in bed.
By the way, true confession.
Yeah, you didn't watch the second.
No. Last night I turned it on. Right, we ate dinner. Everything's cool. Sit down. Wife sits next to me. We're just watching. The game's about to kick off. And somehow I fell asleep and missed the whole first drive of Houston, Texas. And I woke up. She's like, already, huh? I'm like, I don't know what happened. She's like, well, you missed a drive or whatever. I'm like, oh, man, I got to go look at it, whatever. I don't know how it happened. Just boom.
Hey,
but I
it's
came back,
preseason.
and then I watched a little bit more. I watched Davis Mills
It's
and
fine.
whatnot. Little Mendoza action. I like the way he throws the ball.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I think he's going to be okay. I mean,
And he ran the ball obviously well at Indiana, so he's not going to be afraid to do that in the league too. Yeah, that whole quarterback competition is fascinating. All right, Lawrence Lane awaits on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels live from the 22nd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention here at World Golf Village, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels from the Tom Bush family of dealership studio. 1010XL is multimedia. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
You can't buy this kind of media exposure.
1010XL, maximum media exposure.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you, in this financial climate, or really any, it's never been more important to make your money work for you, which is why I'll recommend Mike McGuire and the wealth management team at South State Bank. Financial planning is based on trust, because it's so important. You can trust the South State team. They offer the best combination of sophisticated wealth management strategies with a truly personal approach. That will help you meet your financial goals. Stop by your local South State branch and ask them to connect you with Mike McGuire and the wealth management team. You'll be glad you did. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Tom McMahon is here for the Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here, so don't wait for that first storm warning. Your fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems in those high winds. Armstrong Fence Company handles repairs and builds from stadiums to your own backyard. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search them online. Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
Bowden Iron Associates.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
25 weeks comes down to this. 3 wide under the lights. 0 margin for error. Everything on the line. Flirting with 200 miles per hour in the place where this journey began. Race 26, the final hunt for a spot in the chase. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 weekend at Daytona, August 28th through 29th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Football season is here, and that means it's grilling season. Before you overpay at the big box stores, make a quick stop to Houston's Meat Company on Main Street. For more than 50 years, Houston's has been Jacksonville's local butcher shop, serving up quality cuts of meats, incredible prices, and the kind of service you just can't find at the grocery chain. Steaks, burgers, chicken wings, ribs, whatever's on the grill this weekend, Houston's Meat Company has you covered. Follow them on social at Houston's Meats for weekly specials.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day
Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration for sports fans. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, including right here in Florida. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era. Remember this date, September 2nd. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim. Issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends August 23rd. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
I found a love. It's swept me up on my feet. She's the finest thing this boy ever seen. Just pick you up.
There's one thing that can completely and totally distract me from hosting a show, and that is when a dog walks by. Hello, sweet boy.
Puppies. We
Yeah,
love puppies.
we're live here at the World Golf Village Renaissance Resort for the 22nd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention. If you want to get tickets, you can go online, sctattoo.com, or just come to the door. And over 250 national and international artists, award-winning artists. So just through the doors, just beyond us, tons of people getting brand new tattoos.
Free parking outside, too, so easy to get to, right off of 95 and the World Golf Village exit. Take your first right first right.
Yeah, International Golf Parkway.
Boom. You're all the way in the back. It's good.
That's right, just past the Slammer
Yeah, and inside that ballroom's unbelievable. I mean, the amount of tattoo artists, it's so cool.
I wondered if you come up with the word ballroom. Earlier you were like, there's just this big space.
There's a room in there.
I was like, it's a ballroom, I'm pretty sure.
Ballroom.
But I'll let him come to
Where'd
it.
they come from anyway? Ballroom dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah. You don't know?
Oh, like, do I
Are you
know
guessing?
how ballroom, the word
No,
origin
why
came
is it a
from?
ballroom? Why can't it
Yes,
just
when
be
you
a
would have
room?
balls, like balls.
Throw a bunch of
Like
balls
back
in there?
back in the day when they would like
Kickball.
in the Renaissance era, they would throw ball like
Right,
the
right,
big
right.
balls.
Yeah, right. In the room.
Yeah. It was like big, usually chandeliers and like all of that type
Okay,
of stuff.
I
If you've
gotcha.
ever been to bowls, even their cafeteria, or at least when I was in high school, the cafeteria still looked like a ballroom. Like it had chandeliers and all this like old, because they kept all the old classic stuff.
So I have an answer for you.
Okay.
So the word ball originates from the Latin word ballare, B-A-L-L-A-R-E.
Okay.
Ballare. I don't speak
I don't know
Latin.
what that means,
and
but
that
okay.
means to dance. That's what I was
Oh,
getting.
there you go.
That means to dance. So
So a dance room.
yes, there
like where
you
they would
have
throw
it.
balls.
Well, when you go into this massive dance room here at the Renaissance Hotel, there's a ton of tattoo artists. in there.
And there's also collectibles, like you were saying earlier.
And
with-
collectibles.
There's
That's
whether
in
it's-
another dance room.
Yes, another ballroom
Right, where they would dance.
where they would dance. 100%.
Yes, I got it. I got it down.
All right.
Did
So
you never watch Bridgerton?
I did.
Oh.
Yeah. With
Like
my,
they would throw the big, like everything was about
balls.
dancing. Those were, yeah.
Those damn English still got their mark over here, don't they?
Absolutely. All right, let's talk some basketball now with Lawrence Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
I just need the both of you to look at this picture right here. This would be the Gator men's basketball team, at least 8 of them. Is there anything that you notice about this Gator
There's a
men's
lot of
basketball
abs.
team? A ton of abs. This one right here, that is Thomas Houck. That is not a swimmer. That is one Thomas Houck. These guys are in incredible shape, so I just had to point that out. There's a reason for that.
Let me guess. They lifted
Yeah,
16,000
over
more
10,000
pounds than a year ago.
No, way better. They went to California. The players wanted to do a player-led team trip, I should say. And so they went to Todd Golden. Todd Golden said, I'm all for it. I'm not helping you. You guys organize it and have fun. So that's what they did. And so they went to California and they trained. By the way, the 8 were Condon, Houck, Boogie Flan, Denzel Aberdeen, CJ Ingram, Alex Lloyd, and Alex. Well, there's 2 international players, Alex Kovachev and Arturas Buda Javis, sure.
There
And then
you
the
go.
manager, Ryan Webster, went as well. So they went for a week out to California, and they trained with a basketball trainer, a world-renowned basketball trainer named Olin Simphis. Simphis. There we go. Okay. He's known as the guard whisperer.
Oh.
Okay.
His 50-some NBA clients have included the likes of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Durant, and Stephon Castle, to name a few. His training methods work on shot creation, decision-making, footwork, balance, and discipline. But here's the other part that I found interesting, this little nugget. By the way, thanks to Chris Harry on FloridaGators.com who reported all this. They went to Six Flags. They went on a ride called Tatsu. It's a roller coaster that stands 170 feet and hits 62 miles per hour with the rider suspended face down.
Oh, jeez.
Here's the problem.
Yikes.
There was a malfunction that left the players hanging above the park for 20 minutes.
Last time you go on a roller
Yeah,
coaster.
but talk about a good team bonding, I suppose. Like, you made it through with all that kind of panic and anxiety. And
I
all
can
that
see
stuff.
it now. Fourth quarter, down to a few minutes. Like, remember that time we were hanging upside down? Get the rebound.
If we survive that, we can survive this.
Anything.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And then a quick note
rallying cry.
on Florida basketball. Gary Parrish and Matt Norlander asked about 100 college basketball coaches who will be the best player this season. Thomas Houck, 43%. The
Cool.
next nearest, Jeremy Fears with Michigan State, 15%. Tyler Tanner with Vanderbilt, 14%. And then the rest had all under 10%. But
Yeah.
Thomas Houck, 43%. So very impressive. And then I was just complaining about Sunday no football, but there's football.
Ooh.
Florida plays host to number 3 FSU in soccer, women's soccer, on Sunday
Okay.
at 2 p.m. It's on SEC Network.
Oh,
So if you're
nice.
looking for something to watch, Florida will probably get destroyed by Florida State because Florida's unranked, but it at least gives you something to do on Sunday. And that will wrap up Lauren's Lane. And then we're going to talk a little high school football and some golf when we return. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
From the Tom Bush family of dealership studios.
Helmets and Heels.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care. Official dental partner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Ace Carline here for Atlantic Infinity, and yes, I'm still loving my new QX60. Right now, you can lease one or lock in just 1.9% financing for 60 months, and every new Infinity comes with the Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's over $7,000 in added value. That's one of many reasons why I bought mine there. No pressure, no games, just a great experience. Make your next ride an Infinity from Atlantic Infinity. Visit AtlanticInfinity.com or the showroom near Atlantic and St. John's Bluff.
Hey, you count on your vehicle every day, whether it's getting to the job site, hauling the family around, or headed out for the game. It needs to be ready when you are. Tom McManus here at Tom Bush Mazda. We service all makes and models, oil changes, brakes, tires, diagnostics, major repairs. They do it all. Don't wait until a small problem turns into a big one. Make the smart play and schedule your service with Tom Bush Mazda today.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, checked by Bowden Iron Associates.
Looking for something different this weekend? Experience the 23rd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention. Meet hundreds of talented tattoo artists, discover one-of-a-kind vendors and artisans, and explore the collector's alley packed with Pokemon, trading cards, sports memorabilia, comics, toys, collectibles. Bring the whole family, enjoy free parking, and take in a beautiful venue. Renaissance Resort at World Golf Village. Tickets are available at the door. For event details, schedules, and everything you need to know, visit setattoo.com.
Hey there, all you sports dads rocking the best dad bod possible. We love seeing you eat tacos by the handful, and we love it when you bring your kids here too. For years, Lucy claimed that her favorite thing on the menu was sopapillas, the big scoop of ice cream. I know that's not a taco, but that never stopped her. I was shooting for Dad of the Year anyway, so I just let it happen. Taco Lou's a great place to bring the family. There's something for everyone, as long as it starts with a taco. And a margarita for mom is always a good thing. At Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Did you know that Kuhn Flowers showrooms are filled with gift ideas for the ones you love? This is Frank Frangie. Kuhn Flowers has been a staple here in Jacksonville for over 75 years. KuhnFlowers.com.
At the First Coast YMCA, we believe finances should never be a barrier to belonging. That's why we offer Your Rate, an income-based membership designed to be affordable for every budget and accessible for your whole family, or even just you. Because the Y is more than a gym. It's the place where you find support for your wellness, where children grow in confidence, and families spend meaningful time together. No matter where you are, there's a place for you at the Y. Visit fcymca.org.
It's about to get real. Training camp is on. Listen to 1010XL throughout the day for all the details and analysis of the passes, runs, and defensive performances. 1010XL's coverage of training camp is brought to you by Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom who got rear-ended last year. Tom McMahon is here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial pound law or check out forthepeople.com.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Tom, a question for you from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010. In your eyes, what are you better at? Singing or football? Football or singing?
Football.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like if you were as good at singing as you were at football, then you'd be the lead singer of a very popular rock band?
No, I don't think so.
A .08.
I don't think I'm like Blake Bortles. I'm not a natural singer.
Okay,
I'm
got
not
it.
a natural thrower, but I just know how to fake it.
Yeah.
And put on a show.
Well, I feel like people are always itching for the next Dad Bod show. So once you
We're
have
off
one,
for a while,
yeah,
man.
you'll have to let
we
people
got a
know.
big gap right now, so I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll find out.
All right.
Time will tell.
I've got the top 4 high school football games to watch tonight per Justin Barney of Channel 4, who does a great job. All of our local TV stations do a great job covering high school football. So we've got number 8 Columbia at number 2 Bowls. Like I said earlier, you can hear that game on the 1010 a.m. stream tonight. Number 1 Reigns at number 9 Oakleaf. Number 7 Trinity Christian at 6 Ed White. That one's a 6:30 kick. All the other ones at 7. And then University Christian at Ponte Vedra, UC number 10. I don't know really why I read the seedings or because right now there's not really rankings.
Right.
Preseason rankings.
Yeah,
We love them.
But we have so many good local high school football teams, and I know the crowds are always amazing too. So go check those out. And then I wanted to get to golf before we get out of here. Have y'all been following along with the PGA Tour Live golf drama, even though Live is dying?
No. So what's funny is we heard about kind of the stuff with Live
Falling apart,
collapsing
yeah.
and whatever. And then I was listening to the Frangie show the other day, and they were going more into it of some of the stuff that's going on and like what players were offered and like different things like that. I'm like, I've missed a lot, I feel like, since all of that happened.
So basically, the long and short of it is the Live guys they would like to stay with Live if it can be supported and funded properly. They don't really want to take the penalty to come back to the PGA Tour unless the Live completely is dissolved. But that's where it's kind of trending, even though they've had and so
like dissolving is where it's trending.
That's where it's trending. Yeah. And so the PGA Tour and Brian Rolap, the CEO of that, he came from the NFL. He has already offered the Live guys a path to come back, and only really Brooks Koepka took it. So the other guys are still obviously with Live for the here and now. So I understand that a guy like Bryson DeChambeau is talented and a guy like John Rahm is talented. Where I view it, though, is they were disloyal. They left the PGA Tour. They were fine if the PGA Tour collapsed. So I don't really even want them back. I'm okay with. I think if LIV dissolves, then they just don't get to play golf anymore. Sucks because you made the wrong choice
NFL
and you didn't come back.
trying to go back to college.
Exactly, very similar. But if you look at the leaderboard when it comes to the BMW Championship in St. Louis at Belle Rive. Right now, JJ Spawn sits atop the leaderboard at 10 under, followed by Chris Gotterup and Gary Woodland, both at 9 under. Gotterup is in the clubhouse as well as JJ Spawn. Gary Woodland is still on the golf course. Gary Woodland is the best story, right? After coming through all the brain stuff, brain tumor stuff. Patrick Cantlay, Michael Thorbjornsen, Sung J M, and Wyndham Clark are all at 8 under, and then Rory McIlroy at 7 under. He was tied at the top of the leaderboard earlier today, but then he went out and shot a 69. But yeah, so Scotty Scheffler has said that he thinks some of those guys coming back would be good. They'd provide value. Rory's like, well, how much value did they really provide to the LIV Tour? But again, I've always hated the LIV Tour, so I'm completely biased. Yeah. And if they never play PGA Tour golf again, I'm perfectly fine with that.
I mean, look, come back and here it is. Or this whole, well, let's see if they can stick around thing. What is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't get that.
Like,
why
make your
that?
decision.
Yeah.
To me, they already made their decision. Yeah. And then, when offered the chance, Koepka took the penalty, paid the fine, and doesn't get access to the top tier money that the other golfers do. And that's what he's good with in order to play on the PGA Tour. Yeah. So we'll see how it all shakes out.
Yeah. I'm not like as passionate about this to be, I feel like I hear some people very avid golf watchers who live on both ends. Like I talked to some people who are, in your camp who are like, no, you made your choice. Now you got to live with it. And then JJ is very vocal on Prime Time about, they do add value. Like people love DeChambeau right now. We just saw it recently, even when he was kind of throwing a tantrum, people were rooting for him. So they have that. You have a John Rahm who they're both like top 30 golfers right now. And so he thinks it does add value to get some of those guys back. And he thinks that it even adds more storylines. Like they come back and you win one of the tournaments, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, look, like LIV Golf, it adds more storylines to it. I don't care totally. I mean, I feel like I don't hate DeChambeau like some other people hate DeChambeau, and I feel like when they made that choice, it was for money, obviously, which we see a lot of people do. We're seeing it in college football, connecting that all together. It's just the world we live in where that's how people choose sometimes, but I don't know. It is weird to live in this limbo, though. Like, make the decision and let us know what you want to do, because you clearly don't care about the tour. You care about if you're not going to be, okay, well, if this dissolves and I can't play in any sort of whatever, in any tournaments, then I don't want to do that, and I'll come back then. I don't like that part of it. Like, make that decision and commit to it.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously golfers make a ton of money, but the prestige of winning a major is massive. Mm-hmm. Like, you win a LIV, so what?
Nobody cares.
Who cares?
No one's watched. That's why they're not going to keep pumping money.
I mean, I'm not the golf guy, but I'll watch the majors, at least on Sunday or Saturday, check in on them, that kind of stuff. But I'm not watching LIV. It has got nothing to do with anything other than I got enough with the major. That's enough for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
well, by the way, the tour right now, so there's the top 50 that are playing this golf tournament, and then they have to weed it down to the top 30, and that's who will play at the FedEx Cup playoff. Okay. So it may not be a major, but it's at least exciting in a very small field. Yeah. But a lot of people thought Scheffler would win this weekend. He is not going to. All right, Tom, we have to bid you adieu.
All right. Thanks so much for letting me go early.
Of course. Normally this
is teachers for letting me out early.
Normally this isn't early, but we are on until 4:30 today due to the Jaguars programming. So we did want to send you off with a fantastic farewell. Kill it tonight. I know you will.
It'll be fun.
Honored, and then hang out in the suite.
Yeah, it's listen, man. It'll be a lot of fun. My girls are excited. My wife's excited. I told Christine, I'm like, you should be down there on the field with me. I mean, you're the Pro Bowler for crying out loud. Yeah. Don't bring me into this. But it should be a great night. And hopefully our Jags stay healthy and come out with a nice victory tonight. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thanks to you as well. Again, Tom will be honored as the legend of the game tonight ahead of the Panthers and Jaguars kicking off at 7:30. More to do on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Helmets and Heels live from the 22nd annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention is next.
The Tom Bush family of dealership studio on Helmets and Heels. This is the place Jags fans turn to every day for news, analysis, and inside stuff. 1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
I've worked with a lot of advertisers over the years, and you learn pretty quickly which ones are selling something and which ones actually care what happens after the sale. I'm Greg Gajewski, and when Awaken 180 first came to 1010XL, it started with Mike Dempsey, then Matt Hayes. From that first call, they wanted to understand our audience, not just buy a schedule. I talked with Paige, learned how the program worked, and at one point said, we got a guy, hacker, that could really use this. And her answer was immediate, let's help him. That's their entire mission. That's always been their answer. No revolving door, no corporate runaround. Paige never franchised Awaken 180 because she wants every coach, client, and endorser to feel supported. I saw that as a business partner, and then I experienced it myself. I went on the program and lost 50 pounds. That's why I endorse Awaken 180, not just because they're a 1010XL client, but because they care about people, and you feel it every day. Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Bowden Iron Associates.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
There's a simpler and easier way to get your construction permits. PermitRockstar.com. PermitRockstar.com has a team of rock stars, construction rock stars that fight the permit battle for you. The Permit Rockstar platform can virtually automate and submit your permit paperwork, eliminating mistakes, and their private provider can save you weeks on plan reviews and virtual inspections. Get your permits faster. PermitRockstar.com. Stop waiting on permits and get back to building. PermitRockstar.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm Olivia Brooks with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Tom Bush Family of Dealers. For the first time this season, it's game day at Everbank Stadium. Jags and Panthers at 7:30. Hear the play-by-play on 1010XL. And you can still buy season tickets. You can also get a free ticket for Sunday's open practice at Jaguars.com. For the most Jags coverage, stay with 1010XL, flagship station of the Jaguars. It's 95 degrees at 4 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Tony here from Tony D's New York Pizza. No time for lunch? I get it. Walk in, check out our lunch specials, and you're back out in minutes. Fast, hot, fresh, and ready to go. Tony D's New York Pizza. Quick, easy, and always fresh. Bay Meadows and $2.95.
Southwest Greens is the OG of artificial turf in North Florida. Stop mowing and start chipping or putting or just relaxing with a beautiful backyard, maintenance free. Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
Prosser here. The current real estate market can be choppy, and most experts don't expect smooth sailing anytime soon. So in today's market, go to the proven experts. They navigate these changing conditions. Price your home correctly. You need Chad and Sandy's proven market max sales plan to get your home sold. If you think you have a problem, I'm telling you don't. It's all about a guarantee, and that's coming up. But if you want max price, Chad and Sandy's science-based market max system is a proven, repeatable system, guarantees to sell your home for maximum price. In fact, how's this for a promise? Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts you can cancel at any time. Jen in Big Tree in Mandarin said, I needed to sell the townhouse I'd purchased as an investment property. It had failed to sell with another agent for months. Chad and Sandy, bang, done. Go to chadandsandy.com or call 414-6200.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Golden moment, a few things, Taylor Dahl. One, Tom McManus, honored as the legend of the game. Aaron Beasley, who joined us all fall. going to do the first Duval, and it's pretty cool considering the stadium is going to look completely different tonight. Another golden moment that we're live here at the Jacksonville Tattoo Convention. It's been going on for 22 years.
That's crazy.
Here at the World
Good for
Golf
him, though.
Village Renaissance Resort. Absolutely. Anything you can get accomplished for 22 years is a huge accomplishment. And then we've had so many people come by say they love 1010, they love the t-shirts, they love the koozies. So yes, they are free. You don't have to pay for them. Just
Swing
come,
by.
stop on by, absolutely, and pick yourself up stuff. And we've also seen people walking by that definitely just got fresh ink.
Yep, I just saw one guy's whole leg was, if you know me, I love horror movies. His whole leg was horror movie themed, and he had just got a Psycho one. I saw the Psycho face on there, and I was like, that's pretty cool. It was funny because last night, so my cousin that lives in Chicago, he doesn't listen daily. Every now and then he'll tune in, whatever. I guess he heard us mention at some point that we'd be out here this week. So he texted me last night, and he was like, how about if Notre Dame wins the national championship this year, we all get Notre Dame tattoos? I was like, I'm not committing to that. I'm not committing to that.
I told you I have a good friend who, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017, she and her family members all got Eagles tattoos.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can put it somewhere, obviously, that's not quite as noticeable.
Yeah, if you need to hide it, there's ways
if you have to hide it. Yeah.
Usually those are the more painful spots is the problem because it's usually the more the bonier places.
I mean, I can think of a spot that's pretty fatty tissue that nobody really
butt
gets to see. That's what I was thinking. But depending on the bathing suits you wear, people could still see that as well. From the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010. We always love hearing from y'all. Just saw the Panthers buses headed to the stadium from Sawgrass.
Yep.
So they decided
They
to
were
stay
staying out there.
Yeah, in Ponte Vedra. And obviously they're headed to the Jaguars Stadium, Everbank Stadium right now. Going back to our golf conversation. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say real quick because that just made me think of it. We've had Eric Eager on several times here. Used to be a part of Sumer Sports. He now works in the analytical side for the Panthers of their scouting department, though. So he's like all in the weeds when it comes to those numbers and how they I guess both scouts. He does pro scouting and the college scouting. But we had lunch the other day because they're in town for the joint practice, and I was like, let's meet up and just chat some football, whatever. So he told me a few interesting things, but one I wanted to mention because we were talking about Trent Baalke, and because he knows Trent Baalke and he has worked with Trent Baalke in the past. And so we were talking about him. That conversation turned into Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson, which obviously is a big conversation. And I told him, I was like, look, people here love Trayvon Walker. That's not trying to take away from him. He's a fantastic player. He's so much fun. He's massive. He's like the exact, if you could draw out a defensive end, that's what you would draw. And he was like, no, he's incredible. But I went back to the just the measurable side, and that's how I was like, we kind of always mocked Trent Baalke because he went so much measurables, and if their arms were too short, it was this, and it was never
a lot of combine and
a
stuff,
lot of that type of stuff. And so one of the things that I think may give, if we want a little bit of hope or maybe just a little bit more of it's okay when it comes to Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson, what he said is in research and analytics and stuff over the past 20 years, when it comes to the measurables, he's like, the measurables don't always transfer to the player being a star player. And he's like, but what it has transferred to is the longevity of that career. They're seeing those measurables. Those players play longer. Those players play at their prime longer. So he was like, I would almost put money that in 7 years, we're talking about Trayvon Walker being a better player than Aiden Hutchinson because Aiden Hutchinson's going to be on that tail end because he doesn't have all those measurables where your body can hold up the way that players like a Trayvon Walker are. And I'm like, that's great to hear if you're talking about that. And then I was like, so are you guys concerned about Bryce Young in that sense? And he was like, very. It's a big conversation in the facility of can his body hold up to that?
For sure. That's a whole separate conversation as far as the quarterback being as small as he is and things like that. But when it comes to the Trayvon versus Aiden, if people only look at sacks, then they'll be disappointed, I think, at the end of their careers. Not saying that Trayvon can't get double-digit sacks the next few years, but I think Aiden will still. And so just those two, or just that one number, if you're only comparing those two players, it may look a little lopsided. But if you look at everything else, the versatility, and again, I understand you don't draft a player number 1 overall with a projection and a hope and an upside that you're reaching for when there's a player that's already proven
that's the
there.
Argument.
Right.
Yeah.
But for what this Jaguars defense has to do, needs from Trayvon, they need him to be really good against the run, which he is. They need him to get after the passer more, obviously, but the ability to move him inside and things like that. What if Trayvon can get to the quarterback from the interior position and you also can get him to the quarterback from the outside?
Yeah.
And you're confusing the offensive coaches right, like that's exciting. Like if an offensive coordinator has to game plan for Trayvon Walker, and that's what I know Liam Cohen has told him, like he wants him to be like an Aaron Donald type, where I have to take you off the practice field because we're not getting anything done. If Trayvon can become that, then you don't even have the conversation of comparing him to Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, and I do think he used Calais Campbell as an example, and just the longevity of those careers and how you're still getting the production out of somebody like a Calais Campbell. And so he was like, sometimes maybe you're not getting 14, 15, 16, 17 sacks every year, but what you're getting is 9 or 10 every year, and you're getting that for an extra 5 or 6 years.
Sure.
And he was like, a lot of teams would sign up for that right now because you're getting a player for longer. And granted, players get they get traded, and free agency hits and contracts are over. But for the most part, he was like, that was like one of the biggest direct links they've seen to players' measurables and how it ends up panning in the NFL.
Interesting stuff from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures 904-641-1010. Just heard thunder. Will there be a storm delay tonight? He's also seeing lightning. So I checked the weather. It's not always super reliable necessarily, the weather app on your phone, but I show in Jacksonville as a whole 25% chance of rain at 6 p.m. and at 7 p.m. So that's just rain. That's not with any sort of lightning. So hopefully it will have rolled by the time we get to kickoff, considering that is still about 2.5 hours away, a little under 2.5 hours away. But it looks like based off of the radar, all of the storms are moving kind of to the northeast as far as the pattern looks. So again, playing meteorologist on the radio is always fun, but I would imagine by game time should be pretty clear, maybe just some pockets of rain here and there. Also from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, going back to our golf conversation, Taylor, as far as I'm concerned, these live guys danced with the devil, and then my screen went blank. Here we go. Dance with the devil with the whole Saudi Arabia-backed BS. You dance with the devil, you're going to get burned. I'm with you, Lauren. Beat it. Sucks to be you. Look, like you said, Taylor, people are split on this. If you want the best golfers on the PGA Tour, I understand that. I'm not going to deny that. I am so passionate because having members of my family that served in the military, I don't like that these players, these golfers took money in a money grab. And the ones, especially that are American, so like I guess not to John Rahm, but you literally took money from the same people that were involved with 9/11. That's where it just bothers me so much. But look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Someone asking about the tailgate show. I thought the tailgate show starts at 4. It starts at 4:30 because it's 3 hours ahead of kickoff. So don't worry, you haven't missed it. You will be able to hear the Publix tailgate show starting in about 20 minutes from now. All right, so that was our golden moment. We've got one segment to go here live at the 22nd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
24/7. Search 1010XL Gators on YouTube. Helmets and heels from the Tom Bush family of dealership studio.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Written by Bowden Iron Associates.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Daly's, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Daly's, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Daly's. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Daly's is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Daly's. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Daly's is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Daly's. Daly's is made fresh, it's made local, and Daly's is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Take Time Out with Patrick Young.
Patrick Young here, a.k.a. the Big PY. And you know I love my Florida Gators.
Friday morning at 8:30 with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and Kuhn Flowers on 1010XL.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics this season. These free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings through October 31st from 9 to 10 at Core Tech Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT Fleming Island, and Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and in World Golf Village.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal.
Hey, Jason, I'm glad your technician could come look at my air conditioner on Monday. You guys were crazy busy.
Mondays are always crazy. What happened?
Oh, stupid AC started making a funny noise Friday night, so I had to put up with it all weekend before I could call you Monday morning.
Why didn't you call on Saturday or Sunday?
What? And leave a message for who knows when?
We answer the phone all weekend, and we can have a crew dispatched right away.
You can?
We have expert crews on call all weekend long. And if they're on call, they'd actually like to work.
You mean I could have called on Friday and had it fixed on Saturday?
Or called on Sunday and had it fixed on Sunday.
For the same price as always?
Same as Monday to Friday. We have the same world-class service at the same prices 7 days a week.
Really?
If you call on the weekend, your problem gets fixed on the weekend.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
25 weeks comes down to this.
You ready?
3 wide under the lights. Zero margin for error. Everything on the line. Flirting with 200 miles per hour in the place where this journey began. Race 26, the final hunt for a spot in the chase. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 weekend at Daytona, August 28th through 29th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Hey there, poker players. The World Poker Tour is here at Best Bet Jacksonville from now until September 9th.
This year's WPT series is bigger than ever with 14 tournament events, huge payouts, Best Bet live featured events, and over $1.5 million in guarantees.
That's right. Get in on the poker action and excitement and win big at Best Bet Jacksonville. See all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
You said that Jacksonville's got no soul. Well, that sounds like a good excuse for coming home.
Taylor Dahl is here. Jared Justice back at 1010XL headquarters, filling in for RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks. Tom McManus headed to Everbank Stadium to be honored as a legend of the game a little bit later. So certainly if you're going to the game, give your biggest ovation when Beasley does the Duval and Tom is recognized. Taylor, I've got PFF's ranking of the top defensive lines in the NFL. Top defensive lines in the NFL.
Okay.
I feel like PFF is maybe a little bit of a better source than some of the just coaches and scouts and executives voting maybe, but we'll see what you think. Number one, no surprise, now that they've added Myles Garrett, the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah. I mean, that one, their defense in general, I was about to say arguing. You get into some, some deeper conversations. And last weekend, somebody said something about that. And I was like, man, they got Myles Garrett because they said something about Jared Verse. I was like, I love Jared Verse. Honestly, in the draft, it was like Dallas Turner or Jared Verse that year. And I'm like, I like Jared Verse more because I felt like he's a more complete end than what Dallas Turner was. But I mean, Myles Garrett's a different level of everything, and he adds so much. And you ask, I mean, he can stop the run, and you just get incredible things out of him in the pass rush. But I also think that they help the back end even more too. So
they definitely improve
when it comes to McDuffie. So if your secondary is better, you already have a good pass rush. That helps the defensive line. The defensive line is going to help the back. So
and Verse is good, but Myles Garrett is three times better as far as sack production is concerned.
First ballot.
Number two, also not surprising, the Houston Texans. By the way, if you're listening to us, it's because Extended Helmets and Heels today, Jags preseason or the Publix Tailgate Show for the preseason game will begin at 4:30. So you are right in line for that to begin. But yeah, the Houston Texans, we could go through it. I
Yeah.
feel like all you really need to say is Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter,
Yeah.
and there's a ton of sack production there.
Yeah, I think that, and that's unfortunate because you're
See
talking.
him
That's
twice,
another team
yeah.
whose also secondary is good. So the funny thing about a lot of these teams, and as you go on, we'll see how it changes as the list goes down. But it's teams that defensively are good up front and in the back end, which I think helps each other a lot. But when you have two, and you're hoping that can be the Jaguars this year when it comes to Trayvon
For
Walker
sure.
and Josh Hines-Allen, and then Eric Armstead in the middle. When he was healthy last year, you were seeing a five and a half sack.
Yeah.
So you're talking about that, and that's a hurt Eric Armstead. So if you're talking, you can get 6 or 7 out of him, and Josh and Trayvon on the outsides go back to that double digit for each of them. You can compete. Not saying all of a sudden you're the Houston Texans defense as a whole, because I do think there's some to be determined for some of the other pieces of this defense. But that's ideally what you want. Like, you're not talking about them having a Micah Parsons or a Max Crosby or a Myles Garrett, but they have 2 really, really good pass rushers, and I think that helps so much because it takes pressure off of the back end, it takes pressure out of the middle, but then you have guys that can perform too. So, I mean, there's a reason those teams last year, and the Rams made theirs even better, but the Texans last year kept them in games. Like, they wouldn't have won 12 games last year if it wasn't for their defense.
Right. Totally agree. And plus, I think their coach, D'Amico Ryans, knows how to use his pieces too, which is really helpful. All right, number 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I forgot to tell you this. Last week, I had a dream that we interviewed TJ Watt on Helmets and Heels, and Tom asked him about Aaron Rodgers, and he just clammed up. And so we had to change direction, and it was we're just asking you about your quarterback. But yeah, I don't know where that came from because we've obviously never interviewed TJ Watt. We'll probably never interview TJ Watt. But yeah, the Steelers check in at number 3, followed by, I actually would have this team number 4. I would have them ahead of the Steelers, and that would be the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
To me, it's probably between the Texans and the Eagles as far as underneath the Rams, just with Myles Garrett. But those two teams, every single player is super talented. Same with number 5 and the Seattle Seahawks. If you were to take, we love our Jags, but if you were to take some pieces from those teams and put them here, you might end up having a Josh Hines-Allen or Trayvon Walker coming off the bench and being rotational pieces.
If you
even
were
the
getting an
interior
Eagle.
guys. Or if you were going to get a Jalen Carter.
That's what, honestly, I had to go look at the Steelers' defensive line just to, Cam Hayward and TJ Watt, obviously, but it's Derek Harmon, who I did like in the draft a lot last year. But they have 225 between Yahya Black and then Derek Harmon. So both those guys were drafted last year. So you have year 2 guys. And then with Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt, and then their linebackers to me are such Alex Highsmith and Peyton Wilson, and some of those guys are such a big part of Patrick Queen, such a big part. But I agree with you in the sense of that doesn't terrify me on paper, and maybe that changes. You're getting year 2 out of those other guys, and you know what TJ Watt and Cam Hayward can do. But I would definitely put Philly above that personally. I honestly think I would put Seattle above that.
Yeah, I would too. Denver Broncos, another super talented line. We know them quite well, having faced them, like you said, in December, and then also about to face them come next month. Seattle Bengals at number 8, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 9, just ahead of the Detroit Lions at number 10. That, of course, is fascinating because we just had the conversation about Trayvon Walker versus Aiden Hutchinson and how that storyline will always follow the two of them. But
look at the Bengals at 8.
The Bengals at 8, I think
Their
Dexter
offseason
Lawrence
is
for sure.
huge.
Boy Mafe, like we were just
Yeah.
talking about, huge pieces. But
Wow.
yeah, I think 9 out of 32 is a really good indicator of and we know how good they were against the run last year. But if they can match that type of productivity, if they can terrify opposing quarterbacks, I think people might start talking about the Jaguars defense as really good. I'm not going to say they're right there with the Texans, but they can be really close to the Texans.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to, like I said, if you take Josh Hines-Allen has always been, you'd expect more. You're paid like one of the top pass rushers. So I think that here and nationally, you are expecting him to be one of the top sack getters then, because that's just the title that comes along with being a pass rusher.
One year he had 17 and a half.
Yeah. And I don't need that. I would expect 12, 13, 14. Like, I would want that range from Josh Hines-Allen, and I almost feel like that should be the expectation from him. When it comes to Trayvon Walker, I don't know if I'm even counting on that, because I do think Trayvon is just so good against the run. When you talk about being one of the best run defenders in the NFL, especially at that position, he fits that, and he's versatile. So if you are sliding him inside, are you realistically getting the amount of sacks, or is you're just asking him to do maybe some other things? But
the
10,
running back
I would
looks
want.
like they've been bit by a shark. Like when you see Trayvon collapse on a running back, like right away, they just like go down, and it's that's what to me it looks like when a shark hits its victim.
Yeah, and that's just, he plays so physical, and he did in college too. That was one of the things that he did at Georgia. The conversation was just, where do you play him? Do you lean up, like, do you put him in one position? And that's one thing with Trayvon. I think he should be moved around. And if you have a defense, we've talked so much about those, the depth when it comes to pass rush here, when it comes to a BJ Green and a Strigow. And if those guys can come in and really produce and help in the pass rush, you could do so many cool things with Trayvon Walker and move him around. And like defenses would know no idea what to expect when it comes to that. And I think that's a fun toy for Coach Camp to have, but you have to have that reliability across from Josh Hines-Allen of the depth of guys being able to get the pass rush too.
And the secondary, we've talked about them being stickier in camp, training camp, but does that play out once the bullets actually start flying? But if you can get that secondary to play better, like I said, I think you're talking about a really good defense in the year 2 under Coach Campanile. All right, tonight, kickoff 7:30. We have no idea what starters are playing on either team. My guess is it will be once we get the inactives, I would imagine, about an hour and a half before kick, so around 6 o'clock. My guess is no Trevor Lawrence. We'll see about the offensive line. You guys want to see the starting running backs, whether it's Bashal Tutin or Chris Rodriguez. Because C-Rod had that foot injury in the surgery, maybe they hold him out, but certainly Tutin's been very healthy. LaQuint Allen is not, so we will definitely not see him. Some guys, the receivers, we'll see if they want to put the starters out there or not. We saw a couple years ago, Brian Thomas Jr. in his first preseason game had an unbelievable catch against the Chiefs. That was electrifying, so that's fun for the fans. Defensively, I would expect about the same. Not really many starters, but there's so much good depth on this team since James Gladstone and this regime arrived that's the cool part, is even though you're going to see maybe a lot more of the second and third string guys, they're still pretty good. I'm not going to sell you on the second and third string quarterbacks necessarily, but overall talent, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm interested with the tight ends tonight because I mentioned to you how Borkacher did play in preseason game 1, Koziel didn't, and you mentioned he had been beat up a little bit, so maybe that is why.
I think Koziel did get some snaps in the first preseason game.
Okay, I didn't think he played, or maybe I was thinking playing with, I don't know. I just remember at one point it kept flashing Borkacher, and I was like, that's interesting because technically Borkacher is ahead of him on the depth chart at this point in time, but I would like to see the tight ends. I think you used a high draft capital in that sense. Not Strange. I don't need to see Brenton Strange. But when it comes to those two other guys, especially because we talked so much this offseason about the tight end usage and 12 and 13 personnel, and then we didn't see that for a while. And then at the joint practices the other day, there was a lot of tight ends. So I was like, oh, are they just kind of like showing that because they knew the world was going to be talking about that? And if that's the case, I would kind of expect that tonight too. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there too.
Yeah, and I mean, there's position battles that are happening, and so I think the joint practices against the Bucks next week, that'll certainly go a long way to tell us as well. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Tom McManus, who's already headed downtown, for Taylor Dahl, for Jared Justice filling in for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Monday, but don't go anywhere. The Publix Tailgate Show is next.
You keep lying when you ought to be truthing.
Live streaming from